legend.
6 major titles.
Faces the middleweight division's hottest new star.
What a swing strike by Vanderford.
Two-time champ, Mousasi.
Mousasi ground and pound.
Undefeated #1 contender, Austin Vanderford. One aims to cement his legacy. The other, to take the crown.
What a fight!
Bellator MMA, Mousasi versus Vanderford. Today, live on Showtime.
It is going to be an absolutely stellar night here in Dublin. Bellator is in town, and that always means that there's a special feeling in the air down here near the river. There have been brutal winds and even a scattering of snow yesterday. But these are teak tough fight fans, and they've come here in their thousands to cheer on their heroes. We have some main event. One of MMA's all-time greats, the laid-back but brilliant Mousasi takes on the 11-0 Austin Vanderford, who wants to make every one of his world championship dreams come true tonight. Terrific main event. High drama is guaranteed, and elsewhere on our main card, we've got a great matchup between Jornel Lugo and Brian Moore. There are tests for both Kieran Clark and Kassan Magomed-Sharipov, and what has become a real crossover fight in this city and in the island of Ireland as Leah Mccord and Sinead Kavanagh, the former training partners, go head-to-head in our co-main. We get underway, though, with 2 featherweights, both of whom are making their Bellator debuts, as Jamie Hay comes face-to-face with the much-talked-about Lee Hammond.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now welcome our first fighter to the cage, Jamie, the Haymaker Hay.
Well, Jamie Hay is from Manchester, makes his Bellator debut at the age of 36, and so far has won both of his professional fights early. Neither's got out of round 1, and amidst all of the noise and glamour around this event, John McCarthy, we shouldn't forget it's a really big night for these guys.
Look, typical from a guy from England. This guy likes to throw his hands. He likes to stand in the middle and bang it out. He thinks he's tougher than everyone. We're going to find out tonight because he's fighting a very durable and tough and ground-tested Lee Hammond, so this should be a really good opening fight.
And now we welcome his opponent, Lee Hammond.
Well, as you can probably hear, as we wait for him, Lee Hammond will have the local support all right. And he's about to make his way to the cage for his Bellator debut after his first pro fight back in November, ended with a win in Bucharest. There is much talk about this fella. There's a reason that he starts us off. There's a reason that people are talking about him. And it's always worth listening to John Kavanagh about a prospect from SBG.
John Kavanagh really believes in Lee Hammond. He looks at this guy as one of those special fighters that comes along, that you get to mold, that you get to help shape into being that future world champion. He believes that this kid can get that far.
Yeah, this is someone as well with a storied amateur career. That record of 15-5 doesn't really tell the whole story. He operated at a very, very high level. But of course, there will be nerves here in Dublin. Bellator debut, things can go wrong. He has to make sure that they don't. Lee Hammond takes on Jamie Hay. Here's the tail of the tape, and most significantly, John, we zero in on that age difference.
And you take a look at the age here, Dave, and 25 years of age, that tells you, look at all the fights that he has. He actually has more fights than Jamie Hay at 36. Will the age and experience of Jamie Hay get that win, or is it the youth of Lee Hammond?
Time to find out. Let's get to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to 3 Arena as Bellator MMA is back in Dublin, Ireland. As we get set now for the Bellator 275 prelims, we kick it off with 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner first, at 5'9", weighing in 146.8 pounds. His professional record, 2 wins, no losses. He fights out of Manchester, England, Jamie the Haymaker Hay. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 145.6 pounds. He too stands undefeated at 1-0. He fights out of Dublin, Ireland. Introducing Lee Hammond. In charge of the action, your referee, Brian Miner.
Good. Good. You ready? You ready? Fight!
So a special night gets underway with Lee Hammond here in those red gloves against Jamie Hay, the Haymaker, in those blue gloves. And there was a real difference in body language as we waited to get underway, John.
Yes, there was, and right away you saw Hammond come out, beautiful straight jab, popping the head back of Jamie Hay. And so if he continues to get that off, he's going to have a very rough night.
Jamie Hay having hold of that single leg. It was a good start with those kicks from Hammond. Hay is desperately trying to tie him up here.
And Jamie Hay pushed him all the way to the fence, and you look and you go, you're going to have a better chance without having that balance point out in the middle. So it's telling you the confidence right now. He just wants to slow this fight down and get himself set.
The knee there from Hammond, and Hay's in real trouble already.
That knee landed flush. He might have actually landed one as he was going down also.
Hammond in a dominant position already here.
Very important. You saw right there Lee Hammond clearing his head, getting himself to be able to posture up. Now he can bring power.
Here's the ground and pound. Brian Miner's having a good look and brings it to a close. And what about that for a statement? On your Bellator debut, they talked him up, and he's delivered.
He definitely did deliver. You know, we talked about it just from the start. You can see the body language, the difference in confidence. Right away, Lee Hammond came out, landed a beautiful, straight, hard, stiff jab, and then this low kick right off the beginning kicks the leg of Jamie Hay away, and everything just started going downhill. Once he broke free of that single leg, brings the knee up, it touches him. Doesn't seem to do a lot of damage because he's getting back up, but right away goes after him again, and to the ground and pound. Once he cleared his head and he was able to posture, there was no doubt who was the guy that was going to win this fight.
And right from the start, the quality and the sharpness of his work was really evident. Real technique there.
Yeah, and when you're looking at a young fighter that comes out and is relaxed and calm, it's telling you a lot about what he's done in the gym. He knows what he's capable of, and he just came out here and proved it.
Big, big smile on the face of Lee Hammond. The sort of performance that they wanted from him. And he can celebrate, and he can enjoy the rest of the evening as well. Up first, really good display, broad smile, relief, doubtless flooding through his body. We can head into the cage and make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Brian Miner steps in, waves off the contest due to unanswered strikes. The official time, 3 minutes, 32 seconds, round number 1, the winner by TKO, still undefeated, Lee Hammond.
Remember the name, folks, Lee Hammond, winner by TKO, hugely impressive. Let's head now to the fight desk and join Josh Thompson and Aidan Power.
Thank you so much, Mr. Farah. It is always good to be back here on the fight desk and to witness such a Bellator debut for the young Lee Hammond. That's a night he will not forget, Josh Thompson, anytime soon.
It's always a special night when you get your first win in a new promotion and in the biggest promotion right now. Congratulations to him.
It's great to see you. Welcome back to Dublin. I know you're excited to be here, not because you're working with me, but because we have a middleweight world title fight on the line tonight between the defending champion, Gegard Mousasi, and Austin Vanderford. And as we see on our screen there, a former champion himself, there is the notorious one, Conor McGregor, who's made a surprise appearance not only in the 3 Arena tonight, but inside the Bellator cage. And perhaps we'll see more of him later on tonight. But now, to our current defending middleweight champion, Gegard Mousasi, and the #1 challenger, the undefeated Austin Vanderford. Josh, when you heard this match was announced, what was your very first thoughts on it?
Explosiveness from Austin Vanderford, and then Gegard Mousasi's just the fight IQ. Those things together, to me, I believe it's going to be a fantastic fight because of that. Austin Vanderford displays great wrestling, big power on the feet, but explosive takedown power. Gegard Mousasi possesses one of the brightest fight IQs in the game, and he is just someone who has fought at all levels in this sport. World champion at 205, world champion at 185, and he even has wins at the heavyweight division. So I'm letting you know right now, this is a match made in heaven for me.
And we'll be unpacking some of those accolades as the evening progresses. But what questions do you have? If you have one question for the champion to answer tonight, and indeed one for the challenger, what would it be?
Well, both of them have questions that need to be answered. But for Austin is make sure he doesn't stay on his back foot and he's pushing the pace, trying to get the takedown. He can't afford to be on the back foot. Gegard, just stay composed. He's always composed. His heart rate, I don't think, ever gets above 70 in there. All the years he's been fighting, all he's got to do is stay composed. But he understands, though, he's just got to get after him, make sure he fights it, makes him fight uncomfortably, and if he does that, he'll come out with a win.
It's going to be an explosive night here in Dublin tonight. And for more on this monumental middleweight matchup, we welcome in the newest broadcast member of our team, Mr. Josh Denzel. Evening, Josh.
Evening. Thanks, guys. I don't know about you, but this is shaping up to be an incredible evening. And talking about Mousasi, I mean, even after 50 fights and an incredible career, one of the best middleweights to ever do it, he's still talking about improving and getting better and getting stronger. And that must be a scary thought for Vanderford. But I saw Vanderford with wifey, with Paige Van Zandt, walking through the hotel. It was all smiles. It was very relaxed. And that's because he's a man who's never tasted defeat in the cage. I think it's going to be a barnstormer. I'm looking forward to it. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks very much indeed, Josh. Great to have you along, and great to have Mousasi against Vanderford, our top of the bill tonight. But it's another featherweight bout now. It's prelim fight 2, featuring another local favorite as Nathan Kelly, who won so dramatically last time out, faces Scott Pedersen from South Wales.
And now ready to make his way to the cage, Scott Pedersen.
Not just 2 more featherweights, but 2 more Bellator debutants take center stage for our second fight of the night. And this man, Scott Pedersen, whose training partner Brett Johns fights right at the end of this stacked undercard, makes his way to the cage for the first time in just under a year. His 3rd fight as a pro after an amateur career that lasted 36 fights and which brought a bronze medal in the IMAF European Championships a couple of years ago. From Porthcawl in South Wales, a man who's ready to make a statement.
Look at this is, I always say, this right here is your audition. He's had a ton of fights, and he's a good fighter. His grappling is outstanding. He just needs to come in here and just be himself. Don't worry about the crowd. Don't worry about anything. Just come out here and do the things that you do best.
And now, set to make his way, Nathan Kelly.
Well, Nathan Kelly has talked in the build-up to this fight of being patient, of being happy to bide his time. But this is a fighter who produced a highlight reel, fully memeable knockout of Roger Lopez last August. A sweet left hook in a fight that lasted 9 seconds. This is a well-rounded, well-schooled fighter. Powerful on his feet, smart on the floor. All 3 of his wins have come by round 1 finishes. And after losing his opening 2 fights, this is a man on a roll. And maybe another statement to be made here.
Look at Nathan Kelly is the proof of what the future brings in the sport of MMA, because this is a guy who has started off as a young kid doing everything, and he's good everywhere. His wrestling is good, his ground game is sharp, his stand-up, the 9 seconds says it all. He's got power in his hands.
Nathan Kelly and Scott Pedersen, the tail of the tape, and you want to zoom in and focus on the height difference there, John.
Well, you can really see that everything is very close in this, but that 5'8" to 5'10", that 5'10" might be able to help Pedersen keep Nathan at range. We'll see if it can happen.
Well, let's get to the cage now to Michael C. Williams.
And for all those back in the States today, streaming the fights live on YouTube at Bellator MMA and Showtime Sports, we welcome you to Dublin as we get set now. The prelims will continue with 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in 144.8 pounds. His professional record 1 and 2. He fights out of Parkau, Wales, Scott Pedersen. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 145.4 pounds. As a professional, 3 wins, 2 losses, fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, Nathan Kelly. In charge, your referee once again, Brian Miner.
Conor McGregor watching on. He was once an SBG prospect. We've got one to watch in the Bellator cage now in the shape of Nathan Kelly. The red gloves against Scott Pedersen. Might just feel that Kelly power early, but will be very aware that it's coming.
It is what makes Nathan Kelly different in this fight, is he's got power in both hands. Pedersen has the ability to put volume on him, but the big punch, he's going to have multiples to hurt Nathan.
Already showing that real strength as well. Kelly forcing Pedersen back, trying to extricate himself from that position, though, Pedersen.
Great job of ripping that underhook and turning his opponent, Pedersen, around back to the cage. Really showing a lot of strength, good technique also.
And already a real sense of the atmosphere at this 3 arena. Starting to sing Nathan Kelly's name.
Nathan Kelly doing a nice job. Look where his head's at, right on that jawline. Using that head like it's a third arm. Keeping him weak by keeping that head unable to move. Bringing him backside. Nice takedown.
Really very well and controlled, isn't it, the start here from Kelly?
Very well executed by Nathan Kelly. Nice and calm, relaxed, took his time, and systematically got himself to the point where all he did is spin him around, brings him right to the ground.
A short elbow there from Kelly. Going to maneuver himself into a position where he can get some leverage on those strikes.
Those elbows are landing, and they're landing with some steam on them. So Pedersen's going to have to figure out, I cannot be flat on my back in this position. He's got the underhook, but he needs to get another position to be able to post and start to move the weight of Nathan Kelly. Right now, he's stuck.
Good fight IQ, though, isn't it, from Kelly in these early stages, taking his opportunity to land those shots when he can. Pedersen Gets back to his feet.
Very nice reversal by Pedersen. It came up to the feet, ends up taking Kelly down. Kelly right back to his feet again, digs the underhook. Pedersen having a nice grip around the body.
Pedersen said he feels he's got the experience advantage here, and that could make the difference. Meant to fight in Dublin on the show at the end of last year, and that was called off late, which was frustrating for him. Gets his chance here. He's determined to take it.
He's just trying to slow the fight down. A little bit of dirty fighting inside. Nice knees by both guys, but that last knee by Nathan Kelly, very strong, right up the middle. See him driving back, same takedown, backside with it. Nathan Kelly starting to feel his way through this match. He's now in a point where he's taking him down twice. Good pressure on top. Looking to pass. I don't even know if he should.
Give Pedersen the chance to just land that elbow.
Pedersen's tied up on the right arm of Kelly. Now he's got it free, and now he can start launching some elbows down. A lot of power. Trying to go to mount.
Pedersen's trying to spoil Kelly's work here, and Kelly's certainly not having it all his own way, which a few people thought he might here. Little exchange of those short elbows there.
I always appreciate when someone like Nathan Kelly's trying to pass, trying to get to that mount, but in the half guard right here, he's dominant. He's landed some real heavy elbows earlier on. You can see the big difference. Look at that underhook is now owned by Nathan Kelly, not Pedersen. That's the difference of why he's flat on his back.
Yeah, they're making Pedersen aware of how much time's remaining here. 30 seconds to go in this first round.
Putting a lot of shoulder pressure forward, just trying to move his leg up, see if he can slide it through that half guard.
Said he feels he's a more technical fighter than his opponent. He's trying to prove it here, and he's trying to pile on the pressure late in this first round. Good opening from Kelly.
Look at that backside takedown there by Nathan Kelly. That is just beautifully executed. Watch how he pushes forward and then takes the leg, swings him backside. No way for Pedersen to be able to stop that takedown. And then when they got against the cage, it was that knee that all of a sudden now you see Pedersen backing up. That's telling you that that landed, it had power, it had effect. This was the second takedown. Watch, same thing. The only difference, he didn't block the leg because the leg was already up. You saw Pedersen trying to block the ability for him to use those knees again. It just led to that second takedown.
Richard Shaw giving the instructions there for Scott Pedersen.
You're on the block. Good. Good. 2. Fight.
Well, Kelly started that opening round by driving Pedersen back, by trying to land some of those powerful hooks. Let's see if he tries to get into range and do likewise here. Yeah. Set it up beautifully and then follows it.
See, right here, Kelly should back himself out. This is the second time. Earlier in the first round, he did the same thing. You have your opponent in a position where you are dominating him on the feet. He wants to bring him down to the ground. That's actually where Pedersen is the strongest, though. So he's got an idea of where he wants to go, and he keeps on bringing him there. So let's see what he can do. That was a beautiful 1-2. That right hand down the middle landed with a lot of power.
Just for a moment when he had Pedersen hurt there. Pedersen took it quite well, didn't he? But You wonder just a half step back, the assessment of the situation, another right hand, and that might have been it, but he wants to do it this way. Kelly's choice to take it to the floor.
Nice job. See how he's taking his hand, gets under the arm and starts just finger crawling that arm into a position that he wants it to be.
Pedersen trying to take that right leg away from him. Kelly getting in position to land that elbow.
Pedersen's got that underhook, so he has the ability to get himself up. Oh, he's diving for that guillotine now.
Kelly thinks he has it.
He needs to extend. Right now, he's squeezing, and it's tight. But Pedersen can work his way through this.
Does he quite have the angle here, Kelly?
You saw him switch right there. Went to that butterfly because he knew, nope, I don't have it. Nice job by Pedersen to survive that.
Started both rounds particularly well, Kelly. Just wonder if he's made the most of the positions he's managed to engineer so far.
Well, he started the fight well in both rounds in the stand-up, and he landed good shots, but he was the one that initiated the clinch. He initiated going to the ground. He has obviously watched Pedersen and believes that he's going to be dominant in that position, but Pedersen has done a great job of defending most of the things that Kelly has thrown at him.
Pedersen landed nice elbow of his own there. Now then, can Kelly do some damage in the stand-up?
Kelly had a real opportunity there. Saw Pedersen come forward. He didn't throw. Kelly should have countered because he was within range. It kind of just threw Kelly off there. He just needs to get back to the way he was reading what Pedersen was doing early in the round.
Pedersen swinging a right hand of his own. Just off target, just glancing blow, but good bit of movement there from Scott Pedersen.
Nice effort by Pedersen to take him to the ground. Kelly kind of helped him when he reached under to go for that neck again. Very nice elbows from underneath.
They're doing some damage as well, those elbows from Kelly, but Pedersen
responded
with one of his own, yeah.
Yes. Go down overhook, you hold it down, yes. Framing and you connect. Take space in that right.
Constant learning process for these fighters, learning in the cage.
Beautifully done job by Nate Kelly. Get himself back to his feet. Again, everything's in that underhook. You've got to get that underhook. Once you do, very difficult to keep you down if you know what you're doing.
Kelly going to take Pedersen down again. He's been the dominant fighter in both of these rounds so far, Kelly, but just feel he could have been even more dominant.
Yeah, almost could have seemed like he possibly could have gotten to the end of that fight in the beginning of the second round. He had hurt Pedersen, but Pedersen doing a great job of surviving that, coming back, making a fight of it.
Great test for Nathan Kelly. That's what many expected it to be. And Pedersen's still in this all right.
They're so far ahead of this guy. Yeah. All I want is a simple technique. Simple technique. You're 5 minutes away. A huge win.
This is the right hand at the beginning. That right hand, you can see how it did damage. But he crushed the space, but I think that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to get into. Beautifully thrown right hand. You saw the effect that it had on Pedersen, but it was Nate Kelly that decided, I'm going to bring this to the ground again. He did, but I think he let him off the hook a little bit. There was a lot of good exchanges throughout this. When he jumped to this guillotine, he really believed he had this arm in guillotine, just not quite. And a part of it is because of the cage, and he's unable to extend, which would have helped increase the pressure.
Beyond the black. On three. On three. Come on, fight.
The third and final round between this real prospect from SPG Ireland, Nathan Kelly, in those red gloves against the very durable, very game Scott Pedersen, who lands that left hand from the southpaw stance. He sort of switched as he came in there.
You saw him walk forward and actually switch his stance as he was walking forward.
Yes.
Beautifully thrown left hook.
Left knee in the middle. Pressure in at the hip. Yes.
See what Kelly wants to do again here.
Try taking him backside again. Now Pedersen is kind of used to it. Saying, okay, I see what you do. He's going to have to change it up a little bit. I thought that Coach Kavanagh gave him some real honest thing. He goes, look, you're way ahead of this guy in this as far as how the fight's going. You're the one that's making it difficult. You just need to settle down and take your time and make things happen.
That's good advice. It's always good advice, of course. That vastly experienced corner. Pedersen doing a good defensive job.
Shoot to the back.
Very nice job. You see the S grip around the body lock by Nate Kelly. He's got the ability to bring him backside again. He just needs to trap that front leg that you're seeing Pedersen bring up into the air.
Both trying to do that inside work. The knees there from Pedersen. No question that Pedersen's become accustomed to what Kelly's trying to do here.
Absolutely, but there goes that backside again. Kelly wants to take and twine those legs. If he can figure four of those legs and keep them up off the ground, Pedersen cannot get himself to a standing position. But when you're in this position with your hips down like he has it right now, you can say, oh, he can do a knee bar, things like that as far as with his hips. It's really a tough position to hold and do damage with. Nice half guard position.
Just working himself into half guard there, and again doing damage to Pedersen. Pedersen knows he's got to try and get out of this position. Kelly can just dominate from here on in.
Pedersen getting back to his feet. See the anaconda, he looked at it, decided no.
Proudly describes himself as a working class man. Nathan Kelly manages a supermarket because he wanted to announce himself to the world and show what he can do after that dramatic finish. Much talked about against Roger Lopez.
Nice clean shots by Nate Kelly there.
Keep punching, Scott. There we go. Keep punching, Scott. Scotty, keep punching through break on grip. Keep punching. Right, keep punching, Scott.
Far from perfect display from Kelly, but he's done plenty of good things.
No, he's done some really good things, but this is what he needs. I mean, you're talking about a guy in Pedersen, over 30 amateur fights. So this is a guy with a lot of experience. And when you're Nate Kelly, you're coming into this, the time that you're spending in the cage right now is invaluable. You always want to have the fast fight because it looks good. But when you have this is what helps you get better.
Yeah, this is what builds careers, isn't it? And not just 30 amateur fights, but three-time British amateur MMA champion, that bronze medal at the IMF Europeans. With a really good amateur career. Knows these positions, knows this game. Kelly's story so familiar in this sport as he wants to give his family the life that we all dream of, that they dream of. He wants this to be his passport to that. He's done well enough here on Bellator debut. Not that big statement moment, but that will come. That will come with all of this experience.
Not every fight can be a statement moment. Sometimes you're just in there against a guy that will not break, will not give. And that's what Nate Kelly's been up against today.
Huge credit to them both in different ways. Kelly will learn much from that. Pedersen will take plenty from that too. We will go to the cards, but there will surely be no debate about that.
I don't think so. At least I hope not.
Yeah, we can never be definitive. Well, what would your final report be then on Kelly?
Look, my final report on Kelly with this, he won this 30-27. Now, the last round, things are starting to change, and it's because he's working hard, but he's got to figure out that when you have someone down, there's certain techniques that he knows. Don't worry about being that guy that's explosive near the end of that fight. Worry about keeping your position, maintain it, do as much damage as you can to keep the fight on the ground. Here comes that backside again, traps the leg, brings him backside. This time he's up against the cage. Nice job of working his back to it. See how he traps that leg? Right across. Beautifully done multiple times in this fight, and then up against the cage. These shots, you can see the ones that hurt. The first two, no big deal. That third one, oh yeah, it did not feel good. He landed some good shots overall. That's going to be a nice win for Nathan Kelly.
And they sit, or they stand and discuss it as we wait to make it official. But one of the great things about combat sports, they spend 15 minutes trying to do that to each other, and then they stand and talk about what they did do, what they might be doing tomorrow, what they could have done. Kelly, the fighter who's celebrating here with some justification, I suspect. Let's get to Michael C. Williams now.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go now to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Eric Colon, scores the fight 30-27, while judges Ben Cartledge and Kerry Hatley both see it the same, 29-28. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Nathan Kelly.
Kelly with the win, not by the wide margin on all three cards that we expected, but he's the winner by unanimous decision. He goes to 4-2. Back to you, Ed.
Thank you very much, Dave. Congratulations to Nathan Kelly. Well, we'll have two more Irish fighters in the cage later tonight on our main card. But unfortunately, Josh Thompson, one of them will not be celebrating. It's an all-Irish matchup, high-level featherweight matchup between the number 5 ranked Sinead Kavanagh and the number 4 ranked Leah Mccord. And there's a lot of storylines to this one because they are two friends. They're two former training partners. So this one's been billed as bragging rights for the best 145er in Ireland, but also who moves closer to a title shot. And even though they've both been in huge fights before, because of all that, Josh, this one feels extra special for both of them.
You can't let your friendships and your emotions get involved when you're talking about the Bellator title. You've got to make your run to get there. Both of them right now are in that 4 and 5 position. They've got to make sure that they stake their claim to see who's going to fight next to potentially fight Chris Cyborg.
All right, and when we talk about the mixed martial arts matchup, how do you see it?
Well, Leah Mccord's got to stay on the outside and make Sinead Kavanagh jump in on her striking and her boxing, which she will do sometimes. So if Leah Mccord can stay long with that jab and those long right hands and those push kicks, those types of things, she could potentially make Sinead fight a dirty fight in terms of too far away, lunging in, jumping into shots. Now, I feel like Sinead, what she needs to do is get in that phone booth, make it a grimy, dirty fight against the fence, really push Leah Mccord to the brink of just collapsing and basically, I would say giving up, but push her to that brink of wanting to quit in there. That's what she can do. Kavanagh can do that. She gets in that boxing range, she can really put the pressure on people.
All right, it's a real pick-em fight, and it has split this country. You can trust me on that, and it's going to get very noisy later on here in Dublin. And for more on this all-Irish affair, let's check in with Josh Denzel.
Thanks, Aidan. I just got to say, the atmosphere in here is incredible already. By the time that co-main event comes, it's going to be electric. I feel like both these fighters, they know each other so well. And I think it's going to come down to the points of difference. Will that previous title challenge against Chris Cyborg affect Sinead mentally? I don't know. We know that she's very, very strong. If you know about her backstory, she's incredibly strong-willed. And will Leah come through? You know, obviously, is it too much of a step too far in terms of the level of opponent she's faced? If Sinead makes it a dirty fight, can she handle it? Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? And I can't wait for it. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks very much indeed, Josh. Yeah, we can't wait for that either. It's time now for the heavyweights to head to the Bellator cage to make some noise as the experienced Kirill Sidelnikov takes on the tough and dangerous Gökhan Sarakan in our third fight of the night.
And now set to make his way to the cage, Kirill Sidelnikov.
Kirill Sidelnikov trains with and under the mighty Fedor Emelianenko in Stary Oskol. He can use his fight IQ, the experience of 19 fights since his debut in 2007, but also capable of showing real power and getting things done early, John, as he showed last time at Bellator 269 against Rab Truesdale.
Look, Kirill Sidelnikov, I've been around Kirill for a long time. He was considered baby Fedor early in his career, and he was a much smaller heavyweight. He gained weight, and a lot of people, because he gained weight, think, oh, he's not going to be that good. Look, he's fast, he's powerful, he's got great submissions. When he goes after you, man, he goes after you to take your head off. He's a fun fighter to watch in the heavyweight division. You have to be careful when you get that card saying Kirill Sidelnikov. Take a look at what he's doing here. Heavy, big strikes right there. That's just a nasty heavyweight on top of you. Kirill can definitely fight.
And we now welcome his opponent, Gökhan Sarakan.
Yeah, making his way to the cage is Gökhan Sarakan, who trains in Team Mousasi in the Netherlands, who's won 6 of his 7 fights so far, who's triumphed in his last 2, both dramatic, both early. The last time here in November, when it took him all of 15 seconds to see off the challenger, Charlie Milner, at Bellator 270.
Dude, he hit Charlie Milner. Charlie hit the floor and was like, I don't want any more of this man. But we know that Gökhan is strong. He's got power in his hands. He's got speed. Watch right here. Little kick. You see Charlie get up, down on the ground, and right away the ground and pound starts. Big, heavy shots. He was unable to stop, and he gets starched here. Out.
Tremendous finisher. Blink and you may well miss this one. The tail of the tape as Gökhan Sarakan takes on Kirill Sidelnikov. And look at the weight disparity there, John.
There is a weight disparity, but I look at Gökhan as he's that hybrid heavyweight. He's right at the top end of it at 247.6. Sidelnikov coming in at 264. We'll see if the size is the winner or the speed.
We will find out. Let's get, though, to Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here, Bellator 275, we'll go now to the heavyweights where they're scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds, and we'll introduce first the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 264 pounds even, his professional record, 13 wins, 6 losses, fighting out of Stary-Oskol, Russia, presenting Kirill Sidelnikov. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6'3", weighing in 247.6 pounds. As a professional, 6 victories, 1 defeat out of Istanbul, Turkey, Gökhan job. And your referee in charge, Brian Miner.
Stay back, stay back.
So Kirill Sidelnikov in those blue gloves against Gokhan Saricam. Sidelnikov has won his last two and says they were really important to him.
Ready?
After a defeat on Bellator debut by Adam Koresh. Can certainly be hurt. Who's going to land first here? Who's going to land significantly? Saricam looking once again for that outside leg kick, and then a really good sharp stiff jab from Saricam.
Beautiful jab by Gokhan. He can get Kirill to back up, have him going backwards. That's a huge step in stopping what Kirill does. Kirill loves to come forward and just continue to put pressure on him and get inside. We talk about fighting in the phone booth. That's where Kirill loves to be.
Has that 76-inch reach. He's got those long arms, and he's trying to use that jab to set up the right hand here. Found his range early, hasn't he, Saricam, and mixes it up again with that leg kick.
Doing a very nice job, up, down, moving him, getting himself in and out. Beautiful use of the jab. And you saw when Kirill got inside, he starts to let it go, and that's where Saricam needs to be careful.
Went for the kick to the body this time and almost invited that takedown from Sidelnikov. It's always a danger, isn't it, when you aim a kick to the body like that?
Yeah, you've got to be very careful about who you're going against, and you watch what guys do. Kirill's very good when it comes to that kick to the body. He'll catch it. If you got a guy that's good at catching it, bring it low, bring it high. Kind of stay away from that mid zone. Nice job by Gokhan to get himself back to his feet, though. Again, this is where Kirill loves to be, though. You got to figure, at a heavyweight, 5'11", not a long reach, he needs to get inside to be effective. Now he's there.
Someone whom Fedor is a huge influence. First training camp with him in the Kisledovsk Mountains when he was 16 years of age. Fighting has been his life. Gets back to that balance, Saricam, and to that jab, but he went for the takedown inexplicably. Got himself into a bad position, and Sidelnikov landed that left hook.
He went for the takedown, and he paid for it. Sidelnikov landed a beautiful left hand off of it. Gokhan needs to go right back to what you just saw. That jab can be the difference maker for him. It keeps Kirill back. It keeps him at range.
Once again, though, Sidelnikov's been able to close the gap. So much of the fight game is about making the right decisions under pressure. And you watch Saricam in this round and just think, dominating behind your jab, found your range, landing, discouraging Sidelnikov. We just got a break here, something landing south of the border. But
you good? Yeah, sure.
why would you go away from that tactic? Okay. Yeah, you have to mix things up sometimes, John, but why would you go away from something that was having so much success?
There's never a reason when you go and you watch your opponent. You know, he was a combat Sambo world champion. Beautiful kick by Saricam. You saw how it came up. You saw the low leg kick. That's where he needs to be in this.
Yeah, that was excellent. And that left hook thrown from the back foot there by Saricam. And then another huge left hook, and he goes for the kick again. This is excellent from Gokhan Saricam. Sidelnikov read it.
Once again, he's able to catch that kick even though that one was down low.
Going to use that head, Sidelnikov, to get himself into a more dominant position here.
Sidelnikov right now just kind of taking a little bit of a rest. He knows he's in a good position to not be hurt. Starts to bring the elbows across. We'll see if he decides to actually let him go all the way to the cage, where the last time Gokhan showed that he could get up with the use of the cage, or does he try to turn him to keep him back towards the center?
Just being passive in this position isn't going to win Sidelnikov the round.
That's where Sidelnikov wants to be. Notice when his head goes over the top of Gokhan's head, that's when he can deliver the most power. That's where, if you're Gokhan, once he does that, you've got to start to move to make sure that those shots aren't able to land.
And the seconds ticking away in this opening round. We expected fireworks. It's been
pretty fast pace for heavyweights.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised they want to take a breather. Going to get that in 10 seconds time. Sarachamp starting well, doing really good work in the stand-up. Sidelnikov dominating when it has gone to the ground. Good opening round, that, John.
Take a look, that beautiful left stiff jab by Sarachamp. Look at it pop the head back. You see what it does to Sidelnikov, man. It just freezes him for a moment. This takedown was just not what should have been done at that time. But he went for it, and then again, you saw, look at that kick coming right up almost under the chin. There was a lot of good moments for both fighters. It's just a matter of Gokhan needs to settle himself down and figure the more that he's in range, the more the fight is in his favor.
Taken a lot out of both men that opening round. You mentioned the pace. They're both feeling it. Sidelnikov more so, I would say.
Back up, back up.
Go into round two. Gokhan Sarachamp has never fought beyond round two. A long way from the end of round two. Much can happen. Is he going to get back to his boxing control of distance here, Sarachamp?
And right now, Sarachamp is allowing Kirill to crush that space on him. He's trying to circle out. He needs to give an offensive maneuver so he can then turn out, get to the center of the cage, and hold that position.
Sidelnikov's countering that jab. Start of round two. He didn't do that in the opening round, and he's trying to land his own jab. The takedown and sprawling defense from Gokhan Sarachamp.
This is not bad for Gokhan. He's making Kirill carry the weight. He's trying to get around to the back. Doesn't happen. No big deal. Nice job by Kirill staying calm in that position.
When cardio can become a thing, so much of that work on the ground is money in the bank for later, isn't it?
Absolutely, man. Body shots just punch holes in the gas tank. Talking to Gokhan before the fight, we talked about you don't have to try to hit hard. Just touch, 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 touch. Break him down with a volume attack. Because when you overswing like that, that's when you're giving Kirill a chance to actually counter on you. But you can see Kirill's getting a little bit tired. Those counterattacks are starting to slow down.
Good foot movement then from Sarachamp to land that straight right hand. Visibly see that Sidelnikov is struggling now with his fitness. 3 minutes remain in this second round.
Yeah, you can look at, at the beginning of this fight, Kirill is the stronger guy, physically just stronger, but that power tends to equal out as the rounds go on because you just cannot maintain having all of that weight, and to move it, it takes energy.
Five-time combat sambo world champion. Remarkable record in that discipline. Driving Sarachamp back here, but almost leaning on him.
He's not almost leaning on him. He is definitely leaning on him.
I was trying to be kind.
He's catching some air right there, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's smart. It shows a fight IQ, but Sarachamp needs to now push the pace. You know that your guy's starting to breathe heavy. Yeah, you know you're tired too, but you have the opportunity. Raise that underhook, start to turn him and spin him around, just like that. And now start making him feel that pressure.
It's interesting to see Characham working like this. He's very open about wanting to bring the spectacular finish, wanting to win the knockout of the night, that kind of fighter. Doing it in a different way here, being forced to, of course.
Sometimes getting that spectacular finish takes a lot of early work.
Once again, Sidelnikov down on his haunches. And the cynic in you makes you wonder how much of that is trying to get some breath into his body.
That means that he's an intelligent man. Oh, that came right up the middle. That definitely was right to the area that he's not allowed to strike. So this is not Kirill making anything up. It was a clean shot.
Sometimes the cynic in you's wrong, John.
You got to look at Kirill came right back out. He could have taken a lot more time there. Maybe he should have.
Well, we'll soon find out. Final minute of round 2. Remember, Saracham himself approaching uncharted territory. Great right hand again. Boy, can he strike.
Man, see that jab, man, it's everything. If you're out there right now, not allowing him to crush that space and push you all the way to the fence, you have the ability to use that jab. It sets up the right hand. He just needs to keep on going back to the well. Don't worry about how hard you hit him. Just make sure that you're affecting him, touching him up.
We're going to see John Lugo later, who is a fan of watching old fights on YouTube. Saracham's been watching Larry Holmes. Terrific jab.
Boy, did he have a jab or what?
Just a bit. Leans into that left hook. Does sometimes telegraph his shots a little bit, Saracham. Sidelnikov intelligent enough to see that coming. Saracham never gone beyond round 2, so now we're going to find a few things out about his gas tank. We know a few things about Sidelnikov's, but this is going to come to an interesting conclusion, I suspect, John, this third round.
This third round, I honestly, that first round, it could have gone either way, and it could have definitely gone to Kirill. Second round goes to Saracham. Take a look at that left, and he landed just multiple times with heavy power, clean shots. That's just off to the side, but it still landed, and the jab was just on point. Look at the accuracy. When you're accurate with that jab and keeping a guy off balance, watch the right hand down the middle, snaps the head to the side.
I'll take a point, but committed, you understand? That was here, all right? Back up. Good. Good. Back up. Back up. Ready? Ready?
So we head to our third and final round. John Saracham clearly wins round 2. There may be a debate about that opening round, so this could be for it. Saracham already behind that jab. If you are watching this as a boxing fan and new to the wonderful world of MMA, realize that these fighters can't box in the traditional way because of that lead leg, because of the possibility of those kicks. So when someone puts punches together like this and looks this smooth and slick, it's even more impressive.
Absolutely. You cannot box like a boxer in MMA. Too many other tools are allowed to make it to where the rules of boxing and basically the form of boxing doesn't just work in MMA. But still, some of the techniques, they do translate over. And that left hand, Saracham is hitting him with, he's been clean. He's landed a couple of beautiful right hands in here. It's been a difference maker because Kirill is trying to close that distance the entire time. Look at him, keeps on coming forward. It's all up to Saracham to land those shots that make him pay for trying to close and take that ground.
For someone who hasn't been this deep before, he looks light on his feet as well. Saracham, it's not a problem for him at the moment as Sidelnikov looked for that takedown.
Well, you figure coming from the camp that he's coming from, Mousasi, guys like Van Steen is there. No one's giving him an easy day, man. There's a lot of things going on at that camp. Burkopp's just been there forever. He's in shape. You can see it.
One defeat was at Bellator 2-3-1. Saracham lost to Steve Mowry. Round 2, Kimura. No shame in that. He's building a career here, Saracham. He's a good fighter to watch and lots of skills. There's the jab of the fight so far.
And that jab, man. He has landed that front kick up the middle, splitting the guard of Sidelnikov time after time. And I love when you're seeing right now, if you're watching, okay, look at the footwork as when he comes in with that jab, circling out, he takes his head, little movements off the center line. Everything he's doing right now is paying off. He's controlling this round.
Almost starting to toy with Sidelnikov a bit. Needs to stay on his work here. He's just starting to tire a bit too, Saracham. That was a tired-looking kick.
If you go back in time, Kirill Sidelnikov's first loss was to a guy named Paul Buentello. I did that fight. Paul Buentello just jabbed Kirill's head off. And Gokhan is going right back to that blueprint. He is doing the same thing.
And even though you want to be the knockout artist and want to be the highlight reel guy, this will be a really valuable fight for Saracham. Looks like he's on the way to winning it. It all turn, of course, with one moment, with one punch here. It just doesn't feel like it's going to. Saracham in real control.
He's feeling good right now. Take a look at where his hands are at, though. They're a little low, but he knows that he's the guy that's actually controlling the range. That probably was not the right technique at the right time. But I love the fact that he's trying.
Wasn't the smartest thing to do with a minute remaining. The only way to allow Sidelnikov back in, and he gave him it.
Gave it to him. Nice job of working himself back, though. He's got himself with his back against the cage. He's at least on his feet.
The minor crisis for Saracham, then it would seem. Sidelnikov just didn't seem to have the cardio really to take advantage of that slip from Saracham. Surely the man from Istanbul has done enough here. Doesn't get his dramatic finish, but good all-round display. Excellent striking, boxing display. And he proves he can go 15. Sidelnikov let down really by his preparation, let down by his cardio certainly, and also beaten by someone who was perfectly on point with that striking, particularly with that jab.
Yeah, you could take a look and say, wow, the cardio a little bit, and when you're getting hit like that, it just takes your cardio away. So no disrespect at all. Kirill Sidelnikov fought a hard fight against a guy that was putting it on him at times. Made it all the way through. Let's take a look at some of this handiwork here. That straight right hand was beautiful. The left just grazes, slips off to the side. But this is what Saracham was able to do throughout the fight, especially after that first round where he did land it, just not as much. And then just kept building on this, kept going after him with that jab. Beautiful job of moving himself off the center line. Good footwork. Brought that front kick up multiple times in this fight. Always on target. Got to give it to Kirill. He took a lot of shots and just kept coming forward.
They'll both be feeling the after effects of this fight. It was tough in there. Of course, we're not trying to prejudge, but we know what we expect here. But let's get to Michael to make the decision official.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we go now to your three judges. We're all three, Ben Cartledge, Kevin McDonald, Mark Goddard, all see it exactly the same, 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Gokhan Saric.
He can celebrate, having found out there's more than one way to win. Gokhan Saric, the winner by unanimous decision. Over to you, Aiden.
Thank you, Dave. There he is with the legendary Fedor Emelianenko. And he will be in the front seats tonight for our main event here in Dublin. We have a middleweight world title fight between a pound-for-pound great, the reigning champion, Gegard Mousasi, and the #1 contender, Austin Vanderford. Now, the gentleman, Mr. Vanderford, is one of 4 unbeaten fighters on our main card. So, too, is the hometown hero, Kieran Clark, who takes a step up in opponent when he faces knockout artist Abu Tuankaha from France. And, Josh, we're going to focus on that fight now because Kieran Clark, well, he's been with Bellator since he turned professional. We've seen him on the first prelim, we've seen him on the last prelim, and tonight, for the first time, he's on a main card. It's a huge night for him.
Yeah, it's a big night for him to show everybody what he's capable of. He did it in his last fight. He came through like a dog in that 3rd round. He was battling from behind, but he showed a lot of heart, and as a promoter, that's what you want to see from your young talent. Came out and got the submission victory in that 3rd round, dug deep, absolutely amazing performance. I'm glad he's on the main card. Now it's his time to shine. Abu, though, is going to come out and stick and move, use his lateral movement. And if he does that, I think he's going to have a successful night, but he's going to have a hard time because Clark is very aggressive with those takedowns.
Indeed, and as we see of the record there of Tuankaha, 7-2, 6 of those wins by knockout. So by no means is it going to be an easy night for Kieran Clark. More on our main card here from Bellator 275 a little later on, but now more prelim action.
Thanks, Aiden. The lightweights take center stage now as Daniele Scatizzi, the SBG Island fighter who lives in Rome, looks to find a way past Vladimir Tokov, the Russian who's looking to bounce back from his first defeat.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the cage, Daniele Scatizzi.
Well, a lot of insiders, people close to the fight game, have been picking this out as one of the real gems of this undercard. Daniele Scatizzi, who trains in Rome in Italy, but does so under the keen but remote eye of John Kavanagh, has put together an impressive run of performances in the Bellator cage. And last time he was successful here in Dublin, that unanimous decision win against Brian Hoy.
Scatizzi has had some very good fights in his fight against Hoy. It was back and forth. Hoy doing a great work on the feet, but you see Scatizzi getting after him. It was really the ground of Scatizzi when he was able to take Hoy down, do some great work down there. A hard-fought win against a really tough fighter in Brian Hoy.
And now, to make his way, Vladimir Tokov.
Well, Vladimir Tokov makes his 4th Bellator appearance, comes here under the guidance of Fedor Emelianenko and that team at the Alexander Nevsky Sport Club. And after wins in his opening 2 Bellator appearances, unanimous decision wins, well, he needs to get himself back on track after the first defeat of his 8-fight career. Last time at Bellator 244, a split decision defeat against Christopher Gonzalez.
Yeah, that was a very close fight. There's a lot of people that thought that Tokov won that, so it was one of those, it could have gone to either guy. They both had their moments. Tokov is very good with his wrestling. His ground game is sharp. His stand-up is good. Again, young guy, his older brother Anatoly, fantastic fighter at 29-3. Man, this kid can fight. He is part of what we call the future.
Here's the tail of the tape, Vladimir Tokov and Daniele Scatizzi, and let's laser in on that reach advantage for the Russian.
Yeah, that's a 3.5-inch reach advantage. Doesn't seem like that much, but when you're in the stand-up and that guy pops you and you just miss, it does make a difference.
Well, let's get into the cage to Michael C. Williams.
Welcome and a good evening to all those joining us live in the UK on BBC iPlayer, and of course all those right here in Ireland joining us tonight live on Virgin Media as we get set now at the prelims here at Bellator 275 for 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in 154.6 pounds. His professional record, 11 wins, 5 losses. Originally from Rome, Italy, he fights out of Dublin, Ireland, Daniele Scatizzi. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'10", weighing in 155.4 pounds as a professional. 7 victories, 1 defeat out of Staliholsko, Russia, Vladimir Tokov. And your referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
So Daniele Scatizzi, the Italian, in those blue gloves against Vladimir Tokov, the Russian. Really good match this. There is a question of which Scatizzi turns up. A few people were saying that this week. Brilliant against Gavin Hughes, less so some felt against Hoy.
Stop time. Don't lead him with that head, be careful.
Early warning about use of the head there.
Don't lead him with the head.
Mark Goddard being smart, taking control. He sees them come together, the clash of the heads. You just try to tell them both, hey, watch your head inside. It's going to come forward like that. Bring it off center line. Do not run it into your opponent.
Scatizzi trying to nullify that reach advantage that we were talking about, but Tokov responds really well as Scatizzi just overreached a bit, although great elbows there from Scatizzi.
This is the question. Look, Scatizzi is very good off of his back. Now, not that he wants to be there, but he is good off his back, and he creates a lot of situations for submissions or to land strikes like you just saw. He's difficult on the ground. He uses that butterfly guard all the time, and all of a sudden he'll be pushing off, feet on the hips. All of a sudden you can't stay on him. This is what makes this fight so interesting. Tokov understands the ground. Nice sweep over by Scatizzi. Excellent work. You saw Tokov trying to break out of that clinch. Scatizzi held on to that arm, made it tight. He wants to be in this clinch position. Beautiful foot sweep by Tokov. These guys are just going back and forth on the ground.
Yeah, this is high level. Look at that from Scatizzi getting himself.
He crabs over to the fence, so he can't get a knee to the face. Tokov doing a nice job with knees to the thigh.
Both doing everything they can to make these positions work. If it is just those short elbows, those knees to the thigh, things that will affect the fight later on. Both so sure in what they're doing as well. Really clean work from them.
That was a nice job of Scatizzi. The hand fighting was well done. Took his time, got a 2-on-1 finally, started to peel it off.
Bringing in those big hooks there, Scatizzi, all a bit predictable.
Yeah, he needs to take those hooks and start making them straight. Winging shots from the side. It's taking a while to get there, and Tokov is able to see him and step out of the way.
Scatizzi caught him then as he came in. That left hook, glancing blow anyway. Again, he looks to close that gap, but Tokov's footwork is good.
Tokov on a single leg right here, but his head's way too low. Scatizzi, nice job of staying in the top position. He's got both now. Oh, still on the single leg.
He thought he had both.
I thought he had both. Beautiful foot trip. Nice job by Scatizzi. Scrambles back to the standing position, lands the elbow. Fast-paced, a lot of grappling. This is high energy output.
Yeah, there's so much going on, isn't there?
He's trying to get that hook, keep himself attached to the back of Tokov.
Both trying to get themselves into the perfect position if they can here.
He's not a grounded fighter at that moment. Skatizi could have launched a knee.
And Tokov quickly to his feet, damage under that left eye of Tokov. Absolutely relentless pace. Oh, great uppercut there from Tokov, but Skatizi responded. Walked onto that, Skatizi.
It was telegraphed from the beginning, but it landed, so. That's a nice 2-on-1 that you're seeing by Skatizi there. That's what allows him to turn that around. Now he's in the position.
Who's going to cope with this pace better?
It is the question. Who's going to end up breaking off of this pace? Because the pace has been just phenomenal. These guys have been throwing a ton of techniques.
They'll get to their feet here. Fantastic opening round between Skatizi and Tokov, and a hard round to score.
It was back and forth, all kinds of things happening. The judges on this one, it's a tough round. Both guys had their moments. I think Skatizi got the best of it in the end. Landed a couple of heavy shots, landed that knee inside of the body, but it's a close round.
You're falling a little bit short.
Take a look, nice little check left hook. That was that kick, beautifully taken by Tokov, takes him to the ground, but look at the elbows. So you see it, it's a nice takedown, and he gets that position. Gets the shot to the body, but here come the elbows. Right on top of the head. All of those. That hurts. Big left hook by Skatizi landing on Tokov. Great round by both fighters.
I can't wait for this round two between Skatizi and Tokov. Plenty of respect between them as well. Oh, slipped from Tokov, but luckily regained that equilibrium pretty quickly and to launch that kick behind the jab.
Tokov is stepping a little odd with his right leg, that right ankle. It kind of gave out on him. Just have to keep an eye on it.
He's just looking to see if he was able to place it down. He seems to be okay. Whether he can put much weight on it, or all of his weight on it, as you say, we'll keep an eye on. Skatizi still had time to just adjust his hair there as they exchange hooks.
Clean shot landed by Tokov. Skatizi, he returns it. Really like to see Skatizi when he gets to that distance. He starts throwing straight shots down the middle. They're going to get there a little bit faster, and they're going to be a little more on target.
That was a good blueprint from Tokov with that right straight down the middle.
Nice inside leg kick by Skatizi.
A little bit ragged when he came forward that time, Skatizi.
Tokov almost settling in more as a boxer at this point. Hasn't really used a lot of kicks. Kind of slowed down that.
The pace has definitely slowed. Sure, it's going to speed up again, though. It's almost as if they both tried to find a crack in each other in that opening round. Now there's that respect, and they're having a more careful look. Skatizi constantly switching as well to try and find an angle. Moves from orthodox to southpaw all the time.
Nice attempt by Tokov with the uppercut. He sees the Skatizi when he comes inside and starts to dip his head down. He's trying to meet it with that right uppercut.
4 of Tokov's last 5 have gone the distance. the way he often does business.
Oh, he landed that uppercut again. He is timing that well.
Little smile on the face of Tokov and a cut above the right eye of Skatidze. There is marking under the left and over the right eye of Skatidze. Is he the one who is starting to feel the pace and maybe starting to unravel here?
Just that simple one shot, that uppercut has landed several times now. That is what, there you see him going back to it. That's what opened up that cut. You're seeing damage on both sides of Skatidze's face now.
Love that from Skatidze. He said it didn't hurt me. That wasn't my leg buckling, that was my leg slipping. Great entertainer.
There he goes again. Once again, that uppercut. Tokov has gone to the well many times, but it's worked for him. Skatidze needs to set him up off of it. Quit dipping your head straight down when you're coming in.
A couple of these punches now are starting to have an effect on Skatidze. He pushed out there with his right hand. No snap in that. Again, he switches to southpaw and tries to drive Tokov back, but it seems, John, every time he does that, he presents his chin as a target to Tokov.
When he keeps on doing the same thing, watch when he steps in. As he's throwing, that head is coming down. Tokov sees it every time. Beautiful left hook, that hurt him. That left hook by Tokov definitely was on mark, just landed it again.
It might not be one punch power, but it's cumulative power, and it's starting to have a real impact on Skatidze. Yeah. Tokov here is in danger of breaking him down.
Tokov just with the cleaner technique right now, taking his time, not getting into the firefight situations. He's waiting for Skatidze to attack, gives his distance, sees when his time is, counters with beautiful shots. This has definitely been his round.
No debate about the first, none about this. Tokov taking over.
Take a look at some of the handiwork of Tokov. Beautiful, left, right. Then he started getting into the uppercuts, and when he would land this right uppercut, look at that. Beautifully thrown, right on target. Takes a step back out. Once again, comes in, sets him up because he sees that he's dropping his head. He's waiting for it. He looks for that initiation by Skatidze, then comes right over. Beautiful left hook. Just the accuracy of Tokov in that round made a huge difference in what happened. You're starting to see all of that effect on Skatidze's face right now.
Wants the crowd here, Skatidze.
Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. Ready, ready. Right.
Says that the birth of his daughter, Soleil, beautiful name, that is a big... Skatidze's on his back here. Tokov senses he can finish. It was a huge shot there from Tokov right at the start of this third round. Great recovery from the Italian.
Skatidze has shown us before that he is just a tough guy, but man, that was a big uppercut once again by Tokov. Skatidze utilizing that underhook to get himself back to his feet.
Still feeling the after effects of that punch, maybe. Great work once again from his back there.
Yeah, he's done a great job as far as protecting himself. Beautiful job. He's going after that neck. The problem is right now he does not have his legs in place, so it's all of his arms. Not a way to get that choke to work.
How game is Daniele Skatidze. Took a massive shot. Still in there and back to his feet. Real warrior Skatitsi is going to need all of those warrior instincts here to drag this one out of the fire.
Tokov once again, he's looking for, you notice how where he's circling. He's circling to the weak side of Skatitsi. He's going towards that left. As Skatitsi keeps on throwing that big looping right, but it's also setting up that uppercut.
That left eye of Skatitsi is closing, affecting his vision a little bit at least. And even if you gave Skatitsi the first, and that was debatable, he needs a big finish here.
Yeah, absolutely. He is behind in this fight right now. He's got to do something. You think about the shot that put him down early in this round. Big power on it. That's going to definitely get the judge's attention. He's going to have to do something to bring this back.
Tokov's the fighter coming forward at the moment, and he's the one doing the damage. Just only once in the Bellator cage, Skatitsi, that was a decision that he disputed against Alfie Davis. There's that uppercut again from Tokov.
He's gone to the well too many times for Skatitsi not to understand. I cannot maintain dropping my head. He knows what's going to come.
He's trying to pull Tokov in. He's looking to counter him, I think.
Beautiful left.
That was really smart from Tokov, wasn't it? Skatitsi beckoning him in, and he wasn't having any of it. Just glided in, landed a shot, and was back out of range again.
We say it all the time. Don't fight that man's fight. Fight your fight. You want to go in there, then go ahead. If not, make him come out to you.
There's a reason why he's calling you in after all.
Hello. Tokov really, after the first round, really getting in his groove, really feeling good. Kind of using a shoulder roll here with his defense. Almost looking to set that uppercut up. Once again, there it goes.
He can't miss with the uppercut. It's been his main weapon as we head into the final minute. What's been an excellent fight. For the moment, the Italian Daniele Skatitsi needs something massive in this final minute.
Vladimir Tokov needs to go back to Russia. Whatever coach taught him that uppercut, to buy a mistake dinner.
Right on cue, he missed with it by half a mile.
Exactly. When you think about what it takes to throw a lead uppercut also.
Yeah, leading with an uppercut is pretty special.
Yeah, not normal. Let's see Skatitsi roll through here.
Closing seconds now. Taking nothing for granted, but surely Tokov has done enough here. Well, it was a fight that everyone was talking about as one of the most even on the card, and it proved to be. The first round in particular was outstanding, but then John Tokov took over. There's that right hand.
That was that big uppercut, knocking him on the ground. Take a look at the shot here, cleanly placed. Let's see that one more time. Watch him dip here. Look at that. You see exactly how hard it is, but you see that hand going back for Skatitsi. So you saw him he got rattled, but it had enough left there that he still was able to brace his fall. Skatitsi coming after Tokov in the end, but not enough to take this fight. This should go to Vladimir Tokov.
There's the damage. Left eye. He'll keep smiling. He's got the body language of a man who knows. Yeah,
he knows.
Even pointed there over at Tokov and shrugged his shoulders. Still, he'll have that Italian flag draped around his shoulders, and he'll be back to fight another day for sure. One of the great characters of Bellator, Daniele Scatizzi, and he rarely disappoints us in terms of entertainment. Let's get now for the decision to Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards where all three, Eric Colon, Ben Cartledge, Kerry Hatley, have it exactly the same, 29-28, all for the winner by unanimous decision, Vladimir Tokov.
It was the uppercut what won it for Vladimir Tokov. Over to you, Abe.
Thank you, Dave. We're going to take a brief moment to look ahead to one of the fighters who'll be appearing on the main card here in Dublin tonight. And Josh, when I say Dagestani fighter to you, I expect you can give me a dozen plus reasons why we all need to be watching the unbeaten featherweight Hassan Magomed Sharipov in the cage tonight. What might they be?
Everything. He takes this fight anywhere he wants, on the feet, on the ground. He is dynamic everywhere. I'm just telling you right now, he is good on the feet, his side kicks, his spinning attacks, all of those things, not to mention his wrestlings. Well, Sanchez is another demon to mess with. He is someone who's going to be very aggressive, try to get the takedown, try to get on that top pressure. And you're going to see the two of them collide in the center of the cage. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be explosive.
That is our second contest on our five-fight main card, which is live from Dublin. That is at 4 on Showtime, and we're also live on BBC 3 in the UK from 9 p.m. But we are not done yet with our prelims in Dublin. It's time for a local lad to make his professional debut.
Thanks, Aidan. We are nowhere near done in these preliminaries. We stay at lightweight for our 5th fight of the night. The crowd continues to grow. The noise carries on building. It's Junior Morgan against the talked-about debutant Dara Kelly.
And now ready to make his way to the cage, Junior, and that's Morgan.
A Bellator debut here for Junior Morgan at the age of 36. His training partner, Kane Musa, was supposed to be involved later on against Peter Queally, but it's Morgan who comes here to Dublin to represent Manchester top team. He says that he comes into this with absolutely the right mentality and believes he can pull off a win against a talented and dangerous prospect. He has his hands full here, John.
He does have his hands full, but you take a look at the build of this man. This is a 155-pound fighter that stands, honestly, about 6'2" tall. He is long, lanky. He's got good range. He understands the stand-up very well. He is a handful for anyone who wants to stay on the feet with him. The real question is, does he have the ability to keep Dara Kelly from taking him to the ground?
And now, the Mobile Mauler, Dara Kelly.
Well, Dara Kelly built a solid amateur career in Northern Ireland, and a man from Mobile on the Inishowen Peninsula, right up near the northernmost point of the island of Ireland, wants to make a statement on this, his professional debut. What a chance for him. But also, John, what pressure as well. Everyone's been talking about him. A debut inside the Bellator cage. Great things expected, brings great pressure.
It does bring pressure, but, you know, you gotta love the moment. These are your people. This is your chance to show them as a professional now. My debut, nothing's gonna change. I was 9-0 as an amateur. I was eating everybody alive, and I'm gonna continue to do the same thing as a pro.
The tale of the tape between the lightweights Dara Kelly and Junior Morgan. 13 years between them, John.
And that's the real thing. Again, we're talking about pro debut, 23 years of age against 36. Going to be a tough one.
Time to get into the cage with Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here at 3 Arena, we go now to the lightweight division scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce first the blue corner at 6'1", weighing in 156 pounds even. His professional record early on, undefeated at 3-0. He fights out of Manchester, England, across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in 155 pounds even tonight. He makes his professional debut from Moville, Ireland, introducing Dara, the Moville Mauler Kelly. And your referee, Kevin McDonald.
Behind the line.
You hear so many stories about Dara Kelly and what he's been doing to some very big names in the gym.
Yeah.
Now, we see for real.
Ready to fight? Let's go.
In the cage on debut. The reputation doesn't always translate into the big career. Let's see, against an awkward southpaw. He could fight in either stance, Morgan. He comes out as a southpaw.
You're going to see Dara Kelly taking his time, but he is looking to take this fight to the ground. He knows he has a huge advantage. There you go. Nice job entwining the leg. He's got that figure four of the legs. Now it's just taking his time. Big shots there. Notice where the hip position is. Heavy shots. You see him using his head as that fulcrum to push Junior Morgan over.
Well, he says his biggest strength is bringing pressure and making his opponents quit. Making it unbearable for them in there. And he's right on top of Junior Morgan here in the early stages. Morgan defending desperately.
Morgan doing a good job. He's staying composed. He had the butterfly guard there for a second. Back to half guard for Kelly. But this position he is so comfortable in. He understands how to create pressures that makes his opponent move to where he's got the opening to land big ground and pound.
Using his head really well, isn't he, in there as well?
Yes, he is. And all that, a lot of people go, oh, you can't do that. Yes, he can. He can. He's not striking with it. You can use it to push.
And there is that Dublin noise.
Needs to be careful of getting into this choke.
Stop!
Yep.
Stop!
What a debut! The noise came down in waves, and Dara Kelly responded. He has done what he said he was going to do. Flawless.
Absolutely what you expect out of someone with the background of Dara Kelly. He came out very smart, took his time, got the takedown, and just did what he could do.
All smiles. He's lived up to the reputation. Already a couple of names to take from tonight. And here it is again, John.
Take a look. He sets up that guillotine choke, and he's got the pressure. He just continues to push all the way through it. You see when Morgan turns, that just intensified it. There's your tap. Everything that you're seeing here out of Dara Kelly, nice and calm. You see now he's got the grip on the hand. There's a lot of pressure on the neck. When you see Junior turning, that's to try to relieve the pressure. But you see the hip drop of Dara Kelly, beautifully done. It intensifies that choke. Beautiful submission win. 1-0 as a pro. That looked great.
Yeah, just seemed to have that extra bit of time to set it up and to finish and to do the right thing. Goodness me. Lived up to absolutely everything from Dara Kelly. Let's make it official with Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap by way of a guillotine choke. Official time, 1 minute 47 seconds into round number 1. The winner by submission, Dara Moville Kelly.
They have a new hero right at the start of his career, but the winner via that guillotine choke. What a start, Aidan, for Dara Kelly.
Ultra impressive. So much so Josh Thompson is committed to learning his name, which is
Dara Kelly.
You got it, my friend. Now, what about these two Irish names as we look at the female featherweight rankings and we highlight number 4, Leah Mccord, and number 5, Sinead Kavanagh, because tonight the two friends and former training partners collide for the right to decide who's the best 145er in Ireland, but also who moves up those rankings. And Josh, we talked a lot about those storylines tonight, about the fact they know each other. When it comes to Leah tonight and what she needs to do to get the win against a very dangerous knockout artist, how does she do it?
She needs to stick and move, stay on the outside like she had in her last performance. If she can do that, keep that long jab, keep that long push kick, fight long, and then when Sinead steps into the clinch, she needs to get in that boxing range. She grabs her and clinches her and then takes her to the ground. That's where she has the most advantage in this fight, is getting this fight to the ground. But she has to make sure that she doesn't get in that boxing range too long. She needs to stay long until Sinead steps in and then try to get into the clinch, use her judo to get this fight to the ground. And you can see when she gets the fight to the ground, she is a finisher.
Alrighty, are we looking at this as a traditional striker-grappler matchup? The striker, of course, being Sinead Kavanagh. She's never been submitted, by the way, and she's been in with the very best.
Look, I just said that's how Leah Mccord needs to win, is by getting this fight to the ground. But one thing Kavanagh is very good at is her takedown defense, and her boxing is on point. She starts touching Leah Mccord with the hands. Look for Leah Mccord to start stepping backwards and backpedaling. If Kavanagh can get her to backpedal and move backwards and put that fight into a phone booth against the fence, Leah Mccord is going to have her hands full. Sinead Kavanagh was upset with her performance against Cyborg because she knew that there was moments there that she was having success landing big shots. She just wasn't patient enough, and it cost her the fight. She wants to get back to that title shot, and with a good performance tonight, that puts her on the right path.
You know, the excitement has been building for this fight for weeks and weeks now, and that is starting to feel like it's turning into tension. It is going to be explosive on our main card a little later on tonight. Speaking of explosive, here is 2 pocket rockets in the strawweight division.
Thought you were talking about us for a moment, Aidan. Next for us is a match at 115 pounds between Stephanie Page of France and from Mullingar, about an hour west of here, is Danny McCormick, who looks to continue her outstanding Bellator career.
And now set to make her way to the cage, Stephanie Page. And now ready to make her way, Danny McCord.
Well, if you think that Danny McCormick looks familiar but you don't quite remember the name, then you'd be right. Danny Nayland has married her long-term partner, her business partner, and her striking coach, Alan, and brings a record in the Bellator cage of 4 wins and no defeats. She's won 3 times here in Dublin, and she always looks so physically strong. She gets another chance to impress John, just like she did against Audrey Carouche here in November.
Very physically strong, very aggressive, very good on the ground, very good positioning. This is an interesting matchup. Paige got really good stand-up, and so does Danny. But Danny, I think, has the advantage on the ground. This is what makes Danny good. When she gets to the ground, she doesn't stop. She just keeps on going after positions and then just opens up. Big, heavy shots. She is a violent individual when she gets into the ground and pound situation. Outstanding wins every time. She's just getting better.
The tale of the tape between the strawweights, Danny McCormick and Stephanie Page. What do you take from this, John?
You know, the big thing, Stephanie Page came from a striking background. She knows how to keep range. 65-inch reach to 61.5. Well, if she can keep this on the feet, she's got a very good chance of winning this fight.
Let's get now to Michael C. Williams.
Live tonight in the UK on BBC iPlayer and right here in Ireland, live on Virgin Media. We get set now here at the Bellator 275 prelims to go 3 5-minute rounds at 115 pounds. And now first, introducing the blue corner. At 5'4", weighing in 114.9 pounds. Her professional record, 5 wins, 3 losses, fighting out of Brest, France, Stephanie Page. And across the cage, her adversary out of the red corner at 5'4", weighing in 115.2 pounds. As a professional, she's undefeated, 5-0, fighting out of Mullingar, Ireland, Danny Mccord. And your referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
So then Danny McCormack in the red gloves here against the Frenchwoman Stephanie Page. Always think it's interesting when a fighter starts to find a way to finish. She started her Bellator career, Danny McCormack, with 2 unanimous decision wins, but 2 stoppages have followed, and that becomes interesting.
Nice.
Page lands
Nice right hand. She is stunned.
And she's hurt.
She has no idea where she's at right now, Stephanie Page. Lighting her up still.
Page going for the finish. She sees the chance. Can McCormack hold on? It was a huge shot. Page swings again, and this time misses. Has McCormack recovered?
Danny's still on wobbly legs right now. McCormack just needs to take her time. Back off. Get some space. Get into the clinch. Don't stand at range with Stephanie Page. Oh, a big right hand again.
Sensation in the opening 25 seconds, and she's still shaky here.
This is exactly what Stephanie Page wanted. Keep her at distance and land those shots. Her stand-up is out. She's in trouble.
Straight left. She's done well to survive this. Danny McCormack.
This is what Danny needs, but Stephanie needs to shake her off, get back to range.
Just feel that Page has to seize the moment here. This is her chance.
This is,
Brilliant right hand. She follows it up with another. Referee's having a good look as she unloads. Another huge right hand.
Danny, get out.
Piles on the pressure. The legs buckle.
Stop, Danny.
It's over.
That's it.
He
It's over.
stopped
It's
it.
over, Danny. It's over. You okay?
Mark
What a
Goddard
win
stopped the
for
fight.
Page. She can't believe she's done it.
It's over. It's over. It's over.
Look, that was a good stop. Danny Page took a lot of big shots. She was out on her feet. Take a look at what occurred here. Dave, we had just a firefight by Stephanie Page. There's that first shot. And then that right hand landing as she was getting up. Huge shot. Put her down. She really has no idea where she's at. Watch this again. Watch the right hand. Puts her down, but the right hand again, that's the one that does the damage.
Conor McGregor watching on, can't quite believe what he's seeing.
Conor knowing what he's seeing when she goes down, he knows that she's really not there. And then Stephanie starts lighting her up later on in this match. Look where the hands are at. She really doesn't know where she's at. She's taking shots. Nothing's really coming back. That's why Mark Goddard stopped the fight. He had seen enough damage was done. She wasn't being offensive. That's a huge win for Stephanie Page.
Huge win, huge upset. He saw her legs go. He saw the punishment she was taking. That is what this sport is all about. It can change with one punch, but to her enormous credit, John, once she had McCormack hurt, she eventually got the finish. There was no panic. There was no rushing in. She did the right thing.
Yeah, you know, we talked about, look, if she can stay on her feet, she can win this fight. She can't let Danny McCord get her to the ground. She did it.
What a night for Stephanie Page. What a win for her. And we're going to make it official in just a moment, but we're just going to wait and see if Danny McCormack is okay here. They're looking after her. and rightly so. Doesn't need to be there if she doesn't have to be. I think she's steady now, but we'll just take our time here and wait and see. Michael, though, is ready now to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 1 minute 46 seconds. Round number 1. The winner by TKO, Stephanie Page.
Huge upset, huge win for Stephanie Page. Where might she go next? But a sense, Aidan, of disbelief here.
Certainly so. Devastating result for Danny McCormick, but an ultra impressive first win in Bellator for Stephanie Page. Josh, I guess for Danny McCormick, when you were caught so heavy so early, very hard to recover. And all credit to Stephanie Page for getting the job done.
It's like quicksand. You get hit, clipped early, and you're thinking to yourself, man, how did I end up here? And then you try to get back up to your feet, and then it happens again quickly. That second shot was nasty. She hit her butt, hands didn't go out. I'm telling you right now, the straight punch down the middle, boom, right there. She goes backwards, but it's the second punch is what does the job. Boom, sits her back down. If you were a fighter, you're thinking, man, how do I get out of this? And then this right hand again. Danny McCord was one step behind after that first combination land in the first 10 seconds of the fight. Then after that, she was just taking shots. Mark Goddard did a great job of giving her every opportunity and chance to recover and get back in the fight. She just wasn't answering the bell and wasn't answering back with shots. Big John said it. Great job by Mark Goddard. I know these refs get a lot of flack sometimes on the calls, but this was a great stoppage. He gave Danny McCormick every opportunity and chance to get back in the fight. Stephanie Page had a great job tonight.
And for that reason, it's right to give them the props when they deserve it as well. All right, amazing stuff by Stephanie Page tonight. Perhaps a sign of things to come. More explosive fights on our main card. It is live at 4 o'clock Eastern time on Showtime. That's 1 o'clock Pacific. And of course, we're live on BBC 3 in the UK from 9 p.m. And here's what we've got for you. World title on the line. The defending champion, Gegard Mousasi, defends the belt against the undefeated challenger, the #1 contender, Austin Vanderford, in our co-main event. Sinead Kavanagh takes on Leah Mccord at featherweight for a right to move closer to fight to the title. And Kieran Clark will face dangerous striker Abu Ankara at featherweight. Speaking of featherweights, there's an unbeaten one at 6-0, Hassan Magomed Sharapov. He plans for us all to remember the name tonight, and we kick it off with an incredibly high-level matchup at bantamweight. More on that in just a few minutes' time.
Saturday night, March 12th, Bellator MMA returns to St. Louis for a battle between top-ranked featherweights as Adam Boric battles Mads Burnell. On April 15th, from the SAP Center in San Jose, we shower you with a double main event. Undefeated featherweight world champion AJ McKee battles former champion Patricio Pitbull in a must-see rematch. And the $1 million light heavyweight World Grand Prix concludes as reigning champ Vadim Nemkov defends his belt against Corey Overtime Anderson. May is a month of power, not flowers, when the Bellator cage heads to Europe for back-to-back world title clashes. While Paris may be the city of love, on Friday, May 6th, there will be no love lost as heavyweight champ Ryan Bader defends his belt against France's Czech Congo in a championship rematch from the Accor Arena. And the very next week at the Ovo Arena, Wembley, Friday, May 13th, welterweight world champion Yaroslav Amosov puts his perfect 26-0 record on the line against London's own #1 ranked Michael Venom Page. It's a globe-tracking Bellator MMA Championship extravaganza, only on Showtime.
A Bellator legend. 6 major titles. Faces the middleweight division's hottest new star. What a swing strike by Vanderford. Two-time champ Gegard Mousasi. Mousasi ground and pound. Undefeated #1 contender Austin Vanderford. One aims to cement his legacy, the other to take the crown. What a fight! Bellator MMA, Mousasi versus Vanderford. Today, live on Showtime.
Atmosphere continues to build. A few people are on the edge of their seats about this. I've spoken to a few fight fans who say they're looking forward to this matchup more than any on this preliminary undercard. Davy Gallo of France against Charlie Leary of England.
And now, to make his way to the cage, Davy Gallo.
We just had a winner from Brittany. This unpredictable talent from Normandy in the north of France makes his way to the Bellator cage, and it feels as if things are starting to happen for Davy Gallo at the age of 32, and after an up and down 11-year journey in the sport of MMA, this is fight number 29, but it's now 3 wins in a row, including last time in London via unanimous decision against Kane Musa, John.
Yeah, and winning against Kane Musa, a guy who in stand-up, very powerful, a lot of, just a tenacious fighter. He opened up a cut on Kane Musa that was just nasty. Amazing, amazing job by both fighters in this fight. But look at the thing about Gallo is he is now dangerous, not only on the ground, he's dangerous on his feet. He has a rolling thunder knockout of Ross Pedersen, and when he wants to bring it to the ground, his judo is very good. He's just a tenacious, in-your-face fighter. He's become really fun to watch every time he's in the cage.
And now, making his way, Charlie 917 Leary.
Fight number 29 for Davy Gallo, fight number 30 for Charlie Leary, this tough Englishman who says that he knows he needs to stop getting into hot-headed brawls in the cage, but he knows too that he can't help himself. He's coming good at the age of 39, and last time at Bellator Milan back in October 2020, he was involved in a brief but thrilling fight against Kiefer Crosby.
Oh my God, that fight against Kiefer Crosby. Kiefer hit him with everything he had and could not get rid of him. Wore himself out. That's why I call Charlie Leary the zombie. He just keeps marching forward. He is tough. He will take shots to give shots, and he's in against a tough dude. This is going to be a fun fight. Here he is. He is just relentless. Not a lot of speed, some power, but he opens up with all different types of attacks, and he just wears his opponents out. This is what makes Charlie Leary tough. Non-stop, will not give in, will not give up. Kiefer Crosby, a very dynamic and explosive fighter, unable to continue on in the fight. Big win for Charlie Leary.
So the lightweights, Charlie Leary and Davy Gallo. Here is the tail of the tape, and look at that reach advantage, John.
Close to a 6-inch reach advantage for Charlie Leary. We'll see if he can make it work.
Let's head now into the cage to get this going. Michael C. Williams.
Tonight here in Dublin, the prelims continue at Bellator 275 as we go now to 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in 155.2 pounds. His professional record, 19 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws. Fighting out of Normandy, France, Davy Gallo. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner at 6 foot, weighing in the same 155.2 as a professional. 17 wins, 11 losses, 1 draw. Out of Watford, England, Charlie 917 Leary. And your referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
So a big night for both of these fighters. 59 fights between them. You could argue none more important than this one because of what might be down the road for them. Charlie Leary in the red gloves. Davy Gallo in the blue. Leary's nickname 917 comes from one of those test-your-own-strength machines on a stag night in Magaluf a few years ago. He beat everyone, and they remembered the number, and they'll be watching him here, I'm sure, intently and cheering him on.
That's one of those things you look, most people look at Charlie Leary, oh, he doesn't have a whole lot of power. No, he can swat when he decides to set his feet and throw. Look out. Davy Gallo, though, he's on a hot streak. You know, you hit that stride in your career, and right now Davy is on it. He's feeling good most of the time. He has been taking control of his fights early, but right now Charlie Leary doing what he does, going right after him.
Leary's acknowledged just how unorthodox Gallon is and how hard that makes him to prepare for. You're never quite sure what he's going to do next.
His judo is outstanding, and he will get beautiful hip tosses. He's got nice foot sweeps, so in the clinch position, Charlie needs to be very aware at all times.
Gallon says he takes great pleasure in trying new things in the cage and trying to entertain. You already mentioned the remarkable rolling thunder kick. Ended up taking me down an internet rabbit hole that ended up watching someone do it in slow motion to break down all the pieces of the body movement. Just remarkable athleticism.
Very nice job of heavy hips by Charlie Leary. You saw Davy trying to elevate him, get him a little light on his hip. Charlie was able to slide his hips back. That's what kept him on his feet.
Early exchanges. Look at the two fighters. They've got such different body shapes. Gallon that is full of a man, short and stocky, and Leary a little bit longer with the more languid style.
Anytime you see them in this clinch, though, this is where Davy Gallon, this is where he lives. He is comfortable here. He's not working as hard as Charlie's got to work in trying to keep him in the upright position. So this is, you know, an a la Randy Couture. He would wear guys out up against the cage just based upon he was just better there in the clinch. He didn't work at the same level as you did to stay up.
Those are great little chopping kicks to the thigh and then the knee as well. Trying to do damage, just slowing up those legs.
And many times people do not give much respect to that knee to the thigh, but have someone do it to you once and you'll understand why it's effective.
Working himself into a really good position here, Gallon, using that strength.
Gallon doing very nice spinning elbow attack. That ability to say, I'm okay with, you know, trying this and separating and not having to stay in the clinch, that right there is one of the differences we've seen with David Gallon.
Don't be surprised if he tries that spinning elbow again. He went for the kick. He's got so much in the locker, Davy Gallon. Two very accurate kicks to the body.
Yeah, but real nice right hand counter by Charlie Leary. He's starting to lunge a little bit with those shots. He needs to make sure that chin's tucked.
This time it's Leary trying to drive the Frenchman back.
Right now, Leary's got double unders down low.
It's a tight first round.
Here he goes.
Looking for
beautiful
the
toss.
Set Leary up there, Gallo. Great instinctiveness from him.
Watch the back of his head.
Really strong finish to the round here from Gallon.
Stop! Clean break.
Well, Our co-main tonight is so eagerly anticipated. Leah Mccord against Sinead Kavanagh. And here comes Sinead Kavanagh, full of confidence and full of expectation. She reckons she's 2 wins away from another shot at Chris Cyborg. And here is Leah Mccord, calmness personified, knowing she has to focus on the job in front of her. She surely has to get Sinead Kavanagh to the floor and do it early to give herself the best chance of winning. She's trying to look serene, but there'll be serious butterflies as she makes her way into this 3 arena. There's Gallo. Time for a little wink to the camera. How did you score that opening round, John?
You know, I thought it was a very close round right up into the end when you finally got that arm toss, got to the back, a couple of hammer fists. I think it was the difference in the round, really. I would have given it to David Gallo.
Round 2. In with that flag of Normandy, very proud. Norman is Davy Gallo.
Very nice short elbow inside by Gallo.
On the French national judo team, Davy Gallo, 2nd degree black belt in judo, black belt in kickboxing. Great all-round skills, and he's really proud of them too. Also was pleased with his game plan against Musa. Just said they planned it. They took what Musa was good at away from him, and they really felt they all worked together to gain that win.
He had a fantastic game plan going into that, because everyone knows that Kane Musa, very explosive, a lot of power in his hands, and he matched up with him in that area, but made Musa work and just kept on being just a little bit out of range, and then coming in and making his arms heavy with the grappling. Very smart game plan.
Used his feet as well, didn't he? Negated that,
yes,
those Musa hooks with good movement. Good to be adaptable, and he's having to be adaptable again here. Charlie Leary will not stop coming forward.
And Charlie Leary is giving Davey a lot of problems in the clinch, proving that he's a lot more difficult to take down than I think Gallo thought he would be.
Good right hand there from Leary. Battle of the jabs there. Leary, useful jab at Gallo, showing that he can strike as well. Both aiming left hooks. Notable wins for Leary against Kiefer Crosby, as we saw, against Daniele Scatizzi, who we've already seen tonight, and Chris Bungard as well. That's a really good resume.
Timed that kick at the right time, caught Charlie as he was trying to, a little off balance. That's what put him down. See if Charlie can work his way back to his feet. Very nice work by Charlie Leary. And nice entry into the takedown by Gallo.
Leary doing well, though, to go back to his feet again.
See Charlie trying to break the hands apart. Very nice work. Back out to the center of the cage.
Already see a bit of marking on the thigh of Leary, where Gallo has done so much work. Oh! From Gallo! That's a sensational shot!
That's it, Tom.
David Gallo explodes into life again! No rolling thunder this time, but a wonderful right hook that finishes Leary. It's another win!
That was
David Gallo.
You want to talk about thunder? It may not have been rolling, but there was some thunder on that right hand. That caught Charlie Leary just flush.
Leary is complaining about the stoppage here, but watch this.
That's because he doesn't know what happened. That right hand just lit Charlie Leary up. He had no idea where he was at. He did not understand it. It's because that's a moment in time that he was not there. His senses were taken from him by that right hand. Big win by Davy Gallo. Take a look at this one more time. Watch this right hand. bip right on the button. Charlie instinctively gets back to his knees, but he's unable to defend himself in any fashion. Big, big win by David Gallo as he continues on that march. Right now, he's on fire.
They are currently watching the replays together, looking up at the big screen. Again, something unique about combat sports. Leary complains, but he's certainly not complaining about anything David Gallo has done. It was a fantastic shot. Leary went down and Gallo did the right thing, hammer fists, and he finished it off. What a win for Gallo, and he's becoming really influential fighter with Bellator now. Great entertainer, sort of fighter that people get really excited to turn up and see, and show in Paris too, and wow, the world is opening up for Gallo. Let's get to Michael C. Williams to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, it officially comes to an end. 3 minutes, 1 second into round number 2. The winner by TKO, Davy Gallo.
There's respect between them. Whatever Charlie Leary thinks about the stoppage, there's still massive respect. And John has made his way into the cage now to talk to David Gallo. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, David Gallo. Davey, you have been on a roll lately. You have been lighting guys up. That was a huge right hand that dropped a very tough Charlie Leary. Talk to me about that shot and what you thought as it landed.
So, like you said, Charlie is a pretty tough guy and a good boxer. So I tried to be really clean on the jab to touch him. And then I know we went for the brawl. I throw the opening and throw the right hook and he land. I say, oh yeah, I throw him fall on the ground, try to continue and hit and not hit the back of the head. It works, I'm so happy.
It worked beautifully. You were going after a lot of different throws. You were trying to get him off balance up against the cage. You were able to take him down at the end of the first round finally. Did you think about trying to get all that judo working in the second round again?
Oh yeah, I love judo. That's my background since I am a kid. So I really tried to put everything together and the judo helped me. When I get the throw at the end of the first round, I say, okay, let's wait for the second, get a really, really good throw, and make the show for the wonderful crowd from Dublin.
Well, you had a rolling thunder kick. I'm going to call that the lightning right hand. Congratulations on a big win. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for David Gallo.
Thunder and now lightning from Davy Gallo. Let's see what the guys at the desk made of that.
All right, Dave, what will he bring next? Third time in the Bellator cage. Well, so far, Josh, 2-0 in Bellator. Bellator really suits him. He's got two big names on his record, Kane Mousasi and now Charlie Leary.
I mean, dominant performance. I mean, he had some nice throws. He was getting the pressure against the fence. The thing when you fight someone like that who's a good judo player, you're not expecting them to stay on the outside and start striking. You're thinking they want to try to close the distance, get to the grips, start using their throws to get the fight to the ground. So when you're having these conversations about what he needed to do, I don't think Leary thought, let's stay on the outside because Leary's the longer fighter. In that situation, you just walked right into something, a big shot. He checked the left hook, but then the right hand came over the top, and boom, very nicely done.
Congratulations to Davy Gallo. He is going to be a real force at 155. Well, at 185 this evening, Bellator Gold is on the line as we close in on our main card. That is coming to you live here in Dublin between an all-time great, the defending champion, Gegard Mousasi, against the would-be future king, Austin Vanderford. And we open the card with another unbeaten fighter, the seriously hot prospect, Journal A1 Lugo, and he looks to continue his rapid rise in the bantamweight division as he takes on Irish MMA veteran, the pikeman, Brian Moore, who is determined to get back in the win column and also hand Journal his first professional loss. Brian Moore believes they're the two best strikers in the bantamweight division, but when you see how they get it done, this fight could go anywhere.
They very well be the two best strikers in the division, but what both of them do very well is they both can take this fight to the ground. Journal Lugo, explosive on the feet, but very good on the ground. Against Keith Lee, he was able to do some good things on the feet, but as soon as that fight hit the ground, he latched onto that neck around Keith Lee, and it was done. Puts Keith Lee to sleep. It was a very impressive and quick transition that he was able to get to in that fight, and I expect him to try and do that with Brian Moore. Now, Brian Moore, same thing as well. Look, he's known for his boxing. He's known for his power in his hands, but as you can see, he can get it done on the ground as well, and he sometimes doesn't have to take it to the ground. He'll just finish the guillotine on the feet. He's impressive on the feet. He's impressive on the ground. He's an extremely well-rounded fighter, but he has gone through phases of not performing his best in most nights. Now, that happens to a lot of fighters. So just on the night that you come in, even though if you're not having a good night, it's important you get the wins. With him, he needs to make sure he stays focused, which he seems to be for this fight. He asked for Lugo, so that should tell you something. Most fighters at his level, they need motivation. And when you need the motivation, you ask for those opponents, and when you get them, you need to perform.
Well, let's find out more about that, because it is a big night for Brian Moore. It's the first time he has fought in front of his home fans in over 4 years, and he's with Josh Denzel.
An incredible atmosphere here today in Dublin. How are you feeling just, I guess, moments away from you stepping out into the ring?
Ready. That's exactly how I'm feeling. I've put a lot of hard work, a lot of preparation to this, and I'm ready to go and showcase it in front of the best fans in the world in a few moments.
You're up against a tough opponent with that Muay Thai style. Have you worked on anything in camp to nullify that, and what kind of game plan are you trying to implement on this fight?
You know, he's an excellent opponent, and that's why I picked him. I want to fight the best guys. I don't want to bring over someone who isn't worthy of a good chance in front of this crowd. So I've worked my game, I've worked very hard, and I've answered as everything he's going to be bringing me tonight.
We spoke about the crowd. The atmosphere in here is absolutely electric. What kind of reception do you expect to get when you step out onto that stage, you make your ring walk?
Historical. I just cannot wait.
Perfect. Well, I'll let you get back to it, and good luck. Enjoy.
I know it's a cliche, Josh Thompson, but that is a cool, calm, collected, and happy Brian Moore.
What's there not to be happy about? He hasn't fought here, like you said, in 4.5 years. It's his time to shine. He asked for this fight. There's no better place for him to be right now in this arena. This crowd is electric. This is one of the best places to fight in the whole wide world. And the fact that he's here after 4.5 years, you should expect a great performance from Brian Moore tonight.
All right, that is opening our main card tonight. But of course, as we know, it culminates with our world title fight. Austin Vanderford taking on the defending champion, Gegard, the dream catcher, Mousasi. You know, he's been around this game a pretty long time. Let's hear more from the legend. Gegard Mousasi is widely regarded as one of the greatest combat athletes of all time. But he is surprisingly one of the calmest. His relaxed nature outside of fighting is quite the contrast to the savagery we have witnessed in the cage over the years. Tonight, he faces what could be his toughest test to date. An undefeated challenger who fears no man.
Introducing the gentleman, Austin Vanderford.
What makes him still thirsty for these dangerous fights? Only the legend himself knows, even if he's too humble to call himself that.
I don't feel like a legend, but I feel like my longevity in MMA, something that I'm proud of, and still keep going on top. But a legend, I know, people make stuff. What I love about fighting is the end game, that's the end result. Other than that, I don't enjoy it. Everything is stressful and dieting and training, but once you win, you want to do it all over again. It's that feeling that you won, it makes it all worth it. Well, the best thing is the freedom that it's given me, you know. The friends that I have, the team around me, it gave me a good future, to be honest, you know. But doing it, I wouldn't recommend it to children. Well, I think this fight, I need a dominant performance. I want to go for the finish right away. And make a statement that I'm still here and I'm the champion for a reason. After this, you know, things open up for bigger things, you know, but you have to keep winning. This training camp, my friend said, you've never been better. No injuries, nothing. They're better than ever, and I think the best is yet to come, to be honest.
Tonight's opponent, Austin Vanderford, is a brutal fighter who likes to grind his opponents down and beat the will out of them.
Well, so far he's beating everybody in front of him. You definitely have to take him serious. He's good at what he does. He's a wrestler, he takes you down, he holds you down and ground and pounds you. I'm very confident. A lot of my training was focused on that, takedown defense, getting up. I have to take those away from him, and then he's in trouble. Sometimes I come to win, and sometimes I have to come to destroy. So this time I'm coming to finish him. So I think it's up to me what kind of style I fight. I think I'm well-rounded. I adjust myself. I think I'm a smart fighter. I think he's confident because he's undefeated. Good for him because he's facing the best Mousasi there is. So I think he's in trouble, to be honest, but he's going to find out that soon.
Sets it up perfectly, doesn't it? It is not too long away. Our main event for the Middleweight World Championship, Gegard Mousasi against Austin Vanderford. Goodness me, Mousasi is cool. He's one of the most fascinating people, not just in MMA, but in all of sport. Vanderford's an interesting guy too. What a fight that's going to be, and we don't have to wait too long. Now, in our final fight of these prelims, the unbeaten Khurshid Kakarov faces the experienced Brett Johns, as two fighters who really want to go places, who want to get to that main card, face off in fight number 8 of the night.
And now set to make his way to the cage, Khurshid Killer Kakarov.
Well, Khurshid Kakarov says that he dreams of becoming the Bellator bantamweight champion, and he knows that this is a fight which could propel him up the rankings. The man from Dushanbe in Tajikistan has won the first 8 fights of his pro career, making it 8 out of 8 on his Bellator debut at Bellator 267 in London against Jair Junior, and it was impressive, John.
Look, he's very aggressive, man. This guy goes after the finish. If he hurts you, he's going to throw everything there is at you to get you out of the fight. So Brett Johns is in for a real battle against a guy who comes to finish and has never been finished or never lost himself.
Previously won 6 of 7 inside the distance, 6 of those in Germany, based in Frankfurt. The man from Tajikistan. I wonder which version of Khurshid Kakarov we will see tonight. He wants to keep improving, as all of these top fighters do. Maybe he'll have to grab the win here. But Kakarov is really an interesting fighter to watch in terms of the future.
Especially for a 135-pounder with that kind of power. Special. Take a look here. Look at just what he throws, man. Everything comes with a lot of power, but he is a guy, once he hits the mark, you are in trouble because he finishes big time. That's a big shot right there. Look at him come with the flying knee. He does not allow you to breathe after he's hurt you. He even takes a shot right there. Big win and a dangerous guy.
And now, his opponent, Brett Johns.
Well, what a test this is for both of these fighters. Brett Johns turned pro in 2012, won his first 15, and as he moved up the levels, he then lost 3 of his next 5, including on his Bellator debut against Danny Sabatello at Bellator 259 in May of last year. This is a man, though, who's operated at a serious level, one who uses his grinding style to great effect. It's a hard one to pick because Brett Johns has real quality, John.
Look, he's well-rounded. We're talking a guy that's got good boxing. He's a good grappler, BJJ black belt. His judo is good. Everything about him is good. But the thing he's got to do is show the fight IQ. He had that early on, and then when it got into fights where there was a clear area where he was dominant, he stayed with what his opponent was strong in, and sometimes that led to him being in the losing bracket. So he's just got to be a smart fighter here tonight and come away with the win.
Brett Johns against Khurshid Kakarov. Here's the tail of the tape, and straight away you look at those records at the top of the list, John.
What more can you say? 17-3, 8-0. This is a fight between two very skilled bantamweight fighters.
Michael C. Williams will get the final preliminaries done.
Tonight here at 3 Arena, the time has come to conclude the prelims at Bellator 275, and we'll do it with 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing the blue corner first, at 5'8", weighing in 134.8 pounds, undefeated as a professional. He stands at 8-0. He fights out of Tajikistan, Khurshid Kakarov. And across the cage, his adversary out of the red corner, at 5'7", weighing in 135.6 pounds as a professional. 17 wins, 3 losses, out of Swansea, Wales, Brett Johns. In charge, your referee, Kerry Hatley.
So Kerry Hatley, the man in charge. Look at Khurshid Kakarov here, those blue gloves, that low crouch. 2 men here who mean business. Brett Johns favors being orthodox, but starts here as a southpaw. He said he often switches, and he's decided to do that right from the start. And he lands that long left hand, and then he goes orthodox.
This was the fight on the prelims that I was looking forward to. Brett Johns is just good everywhere, and Kirchhoff he's just dynamic. When he lands the shot, he just comes after you with this relentless style.
So confident in his striking here, Johns, in these early stages.
I'm going to tell you, that's what you need to see out of Brett Johns. If he's going to be in this fight, he's got to be the full MMA fighter. That means keeping Kakarov in a position where he's unsure what he's going to be doing next.
We've seen his training partner, Scott Pedersen, earlier on tonight, losing to Nathan Kelly, but putting up a pretty spirited display.
Beautiful job of pulling him off of the cage. You saw him with that. He had a hold of the ankle. He's just waiting for that moment he could draw those legs out. Now he's trying to figure forward the legs.
Really good start this from Brett Johns. Swansea in South Wales.
You see a lot of fighters going into this position nowadays based upon watching a guy named Khabib Nurmagomedov, but that actually, I'm going to give him credit. Josh Thompson, guy working that desk, is one of the first guys that started lacing those legs, figure fouring them with a guy with his back up against fence, became very effective with it. That's the last good thing I'll say about Josh Thompson.
That comment just got a nod of appreciation. The first one did, not the second.
Nice job. A lot of pressure by Brett Johns right now. Kakarov doing a good job of just maintaining position. He hasn't taken any damage. It's big, but you've seen Johns wants to pick him up, take him for a ride again. Make him work hard to get back to his feet, and then put him right back down into the same position.
Talked of wanting to create a future for his family and create a legacy in this sport. If he's going to do that, these are the kind of fights that he needs to win, Brett Johns. This would be a major statement.
Brett Johns not really changing up. He was looking for that high crotch. Couldn't get it. Didn't he switch to the single here? Kavanagh doing a very good job of defending against the takedown. Saw him raise the elbow to try to turn Johns out of the position.
They're both prepared to bide their time here.
He's got his hands together, so usually when you get your hands together, that takedown's coming.
Johns trying to move him closer to the cage. An open guard from Kakarov, just trying to prevent Johns from doing any damage here.
That's the danger of driving your opponent towards the cage. If you're giving him the ability to put his back up against it. Johns felt that he could control the position by stopping the hip movement of Kakarov, but unable to stop him from sliding up that cage, getting his back against it. Now we're right back to that same element of Kakarov getting back to his feet or Johns trying to take him back down for this.
So 50 seconds remaining in this opening round. You already start to think about how it might be scored if we need to go that far.
When you're looking at this right now, think about overall, even be it in the standings or on the ground, this has been a grappling dominated round. Very little bit of striking, you know, a couple strikes here and there, but grappling is what has taken place. And who's been the guy that's dominated the grappling so far? It's Brett Johns.
It's been a frustrating round for Kakarov. Johns has implemented a game plan, really.
Johns has implemented a smart game plan of, I want to stay away from the power. This is a way to do it.
Little bounce, little spring in the step there of Johns, little look as well over to his team. That was exactly what was meant to happen in that opening round. Kakarov is the fighter here who needs to find an answer.
Show it before he does it, to make him respect it. Show it before he does it, okay? And we both get to put our hands up, okay?
There's the picture here in Dublin as this glorious arena starts to fill.
Here we go, round two.
Had a
It's good work.
Great night so far, and so much still to come. Round two here between Brett Johns, the Welshman, in those red gloves, and Khurshid Kakarov, number 8-0, coming into this. Johns knows, John strongly thinks, John, that having done that in the opening round, if he can do that in one of these next two and avoid the power, then he's on his way. There's a route to victory.
Fighting is about being smart, no doubt. You know, Johns can be in the stand-up, but he knows that his strength in this fight is being on the ground with Kakarov. Don't allow this guy to be in a position where he can hurt you. Johns is going to be looking for the takedown again.
Looks for the takedown. Mccord desperately tries to defend it.
Don't grab the fence. One.
Yeah, there's the warning.
Yes,
he's in that cage too much.
The problem with that warning is that grab actually stopped the takedown. Johns was going to get that takedown, and based upon that grab, it didn't happen. So that's when you possibly are taking a point from somebody because he altered the fight.
Both trying to work away at each other's legs here. Johns, though, is going to get into position again for that takedown.
Johns, heavy pressure to the side. You see Kakarov trying to work his way to get his back to the cage. Johns took that away with his head position, driving forward, heavy pressure on him. Johns doing a nice job of lacing the arm so he can open up with that right hand.
Nearly halfway through this second round, and once again you just get the sense that Johns right now anyway is doing enough. Just enough, but enough.
Oh, he's doing enough. You know, look, he just improved his position. He's working at keeping Kakarov with his back on the canvas. Everything he's doing is, look, this is part of MMA. A lot of people may not like it. This is effective grappling, and he is winning this fight based upon that effective grappling. Saw Kakarov grabbing the fence again. He sees the referee moving over to see. Let's go.
Johns still working away.
That's what Johns needs to do right here. Place that hand on the forehead and slide it off so that elbow lands with a lot of velocity.
He's attacking with those short elbows. They were accurate as well. Right into the eyes of Kakarov.
But you see what happens to Kakarov when he's doing that. All of a sudden, that whole thought process of getting up, it goes away. What comes into place is I need to protect myself. So now he's going to be staying where he's at.
There's another warning. At some point, warnings don't mean anything unless you act on them.
At some point, they don't. What you're seeing Brett Johns trying to do is trying to lace that arm, grabbing a hold of the left arm of Kakarov so he can open up now with the right. See how he's got it laced inside here, pulling the arm back. Very effective position. Do a lot of damage. Just needs to pick the spots, bringing right hands from the right side, hammer fist from the left.
Johns is making an awful lot of smart decisions here, isn't he? And getting himself into the right positions.
And again, a lot of people aren't going to really appreciate what Brett Johns is doing, but this is beautiful. Look at the wrist control he had on that left hand. That was keeping Kakarov from being able to sit himself up. All this pressure. This is grinding. This is brutal. Now we're in the mount position. Kakarov is slowly, systematically getting broken down.
That standing work, there's just grinding work that he promised Johns, and now he's got Kakarov in real trouble. 15 seconds remain in round two, and Johns is starting to land here. Great work this from Johns, who's going for the finish. 4 seconds remain.
Kakarov really trying to work his way out.
Now Kakarov needs something spectacular in the third round. That's the position that Johns has got himself into, John.
Look, Brett Johns has fought a perfect fight for him so far. He couldn't have scripted a better 2 rounds against a very deadly striker in Kakarov. Here, right, and getting this mount position, opening up. All of this beautiful work by Brett Johns. Just trying to put volume on him, break him down. See Kakarov trying. His arm is being held by Brett Johns. Finally, he gets it free. He tries to turn. Brett Johns putting a lot of hip pressure in that lower back. Kakarov needs to do something big. He's down 2 rounds to nothing.
All right, here we go. Round 3. Let's go.
So round 3, Brett Johns in the red gloves. Would feel, barring something strange, has the first 2 rounds in the bank here. So it's Khurshid Kakarov who needs to make something happen. 2 men, by the way, who were born a day apart. Johns turned 30 on Monday and Kakarov on Tuesday. Johns in the ascendancy here and looks again for the takedown.
And a lot of what Brett Johns has done is taken away some of the power of Kavanagh. His arms are heavy now. They got lactic acid in him. Everything he throws is slower. It's got less power on it. You're going to see Brett Johns trying to work himself back to what we saw at the end of the round. He's going to try to work back towards that mount position. You're going to see him lacing that arm again because it was so effective for him in round 2.
You have to appreciate what Brett Johns is doing here. He said fans should expect a game-hungry Welshman, and that's exactly what they've got here.
Beautiful pass at guard into half guard here. He's got the ability to get to side. Got to drop that hip down.
Someone who knows the game on the floor inside out, and he's proving it here, Johns.
And this is where Brett Johns started off as a grappler, and his boxing and everything got much better. He kind of got into that, I love my stand-up. This is what maturity does to a fighter. Hey, I can't just go to my stand-up just because I love it. I need to put my opponent where they are least effective, and he has done that consistently throughout this fight.
Right now, Kavanagh, who would have known this was a difficult fight, doesn't really know what's hit him. He's had no answer all the way through.
He's basically had zero offense throughout most of these rounds. And now again, look at that arm being laced. He has no way of defending some of these shots. He's got one arm sticking up there. John's just picking his shots. Full mount here. Now he's got rear mount. Look at where the legs of Kavanagh are. That means he's got no ability to use his legs in any fashion to get himself out. This is close to being the finish.
He stopped it. What a display. What a dominant display from Brett Johns. Just too good. He got the fight where he wanted, and he dominated Kavanagh, and you can clearly see that he felt he had a point to prove, and boy, has he made it.
That was a big win for Brett Johns. He came into Bellator, he ran into it, he got a last-second opponent change with Danny Sabatel, unbelievable wrestler who was able to take Brett Johns and control Brett Johns on the ground. This was a big fight for him coming in against a big-time striker, a guy with a lot of power, undefeated record, and he just put on a great performance. Take a look at what's going on here. He's got that arm laced. There's no way that Kavanagh can do anything with his right arm. So the only thing he can do is turn towards it to try to free it. That just puts him in a worse position. His legs are up. He's just taking shots. No way to defend. Gary Hadley's seen enough. He can only hide for so long.
Stoppage was a bonus for Johns, who looked like he was enjoying it in there. That does send a message. That's a great win for him. Well, we could go and make it official. John's going to talk to Brett Johns in a moment, but Michael C. Williams, first of all, will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, referee Kerry Hatley waves off the contest due to unanswered strikes officially. 3 minutes into round number 3. The winner by TKO, Brett Johns.
Great win. Might not have been spectacular, but it was outstanding. Excellent from Brett Johns. Be interesting to see what he does next. And he's delighted, as you can see, to be able to talk to John. He just said, finally, I'm going to be interviewed by the legend that is Big John McCarthy. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, a man that just put on an outstanding performance. Brett Johns, you came into this, you knew you needed to get a win, and you went back to your basics, what you were great at, your ground game, to put him in a position where he couldn't hurt you. Talk to me about your game plan.
John, firstly, I've got to say, to be interviewed by someone like yourself, that's a dream come true. But going back to the fight, I can't go one more second without thanking the men and women that are behind me in the gyms. This is an individual sport, but a team effort. Richard Shaw, Carl Parker, my brother Ashley Johns. Honestly, I dedicate my life to them boys. The team at Shaw Mixed Martial Arts, you know where you are, boys, you know where you are. Jack Shaw fighting in London. Let's get Josh Reed a contract with Bellator. Let's get Josh Crazy Horse Reed in there as well.
Talk to me about coming in here against an undefeated fighter, and you took away all of his offense. You put him in bad positions, and it just kept getting deeper and deeper as far as the water going in over his head. You used that arm lace beautifully. Talk to me about what you were thinking.
Look, I've been told by my coaches, John, that I'm one of the best in the world at doing that. And I feel like the last few fights I might have gone off that game plan because the stand-up's improving maybe a little bit too much or whatever, but look, it is what it is. I'm back to the drawing board, and as you can see, I can fight one of the best fighters in the world and do that. Look, it's just an honour being in this cage, and to do it in the 3 Arena in Dublin is absolutely mental. Woo! Thank you to my Celtic brothers. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to tell you, that was an impressive win. Congratulations on your first win here in the Bellator cage. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big up to Brett Johns.
My Celtic brothers, you've got to love it, haven't you? The Welshman wins in Dublin. Brilliant Brett Johns. And back to you guys, eh?
Nicely done by Brett Johns, and winning fans on the microphone too, as you say, with his Celtic cousins. Well, that's how we like to wrap up our prelims, with a stoppage like that. And for one final time, let's whet the appetite of what's coming your way in just a few minutes' time. Bellator 275 is live on Showtime, and here's what we have for you on deck tonight. We open our card with a high-level matchup at bantamweight. We have the unbeaten hot prospect Journel Lugo and Irish MMA veteran Brian Moore. Then from Dagestan, the 6-0 featherweight Hassan Mohamed Sharapov welcomes newcomer Jose Sanchez to the Bellator cage. Also at featherweight, hometown hero Kieran Clark will hope to raise the roof and get his hand raised with victory over French knockout artist Abu Chouankara from France. And then in our co-main event, friendship will be put to one side between two top 5 ranked featherweights, Leah Mccord and Sinead Kavanagh, who'll battle for bragging rights and for title contention. But wait, there's more. Our main event, will it be and still or and new as Gegard Mousasi defends Bellator middleweight gold against the hungry challenger Austin Vanderford. Josh, here's your toughest question of the night. What are you most looking forward to?
It's not what I'm looking forward to, it's who I'm looking forward to. Okay? Hassan Mohamed Sharapov, I'm looking forward to him because he's so explosive, so exciting, and Journel Lugo. Okay, these two young prospects they're exploding onto the scene. I'm telling you guys right now, keep your eyes on them. They're super explosive and they're really fun to watch.
All right, and as always, expect the unexpected. We just don't know how it's going to go down if the prelims are anything to go by. So do join us. Top of the hour, Bellator 275, live from Dublin. See you then.
Bellator legend. 6 major titles. Faces the middleweight division's hottest new star. What a swing strike by Vanderford. 2-time champ Gegard Mousasi. Mousasi ground and pound. Undefeated #1 contender Austin Vanderford. One aims to cement his legacy. The other to take the crown. What a fight! Bellator MMA. Mousasi versus Vanderford. Today.
gentlemen, Austin Vanderford.
Blue gloves for Jones, red gloves for Vanderford.
And watching both of these guys extensively, Cody Jones has got a good stand-up game, but he does not carry the power that Austin Vanderford does. And Vanderford has the ability to put this fight on the ground when he wants. The question is, I'm sure he has watched Cody Jones. Does he want to put the fight there and take the chance of putting himself into danger of the submission game that Cody Jones brings?
Big swing and a miss. But now on top is Austin Vanderford.
We have a mouthpiece that came out. That exchange was a weird exchange because Cody Jones actually landed that right hand, and he landed it in a good spot on Austin, but Austin landed his and actually knocked Cody Jones's mouthpiece out, or it was Austin's mouthpiece coming out. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that beautiful raise of elevation, trying to get Austin off of him. Did not turn himself, again, switching through. This is the game of jiu-jitsu that I'm saying Cody Jones does so well. I don't care what belt he has. It's his ability to attack that makes him dangerous.
You really love his, you said his active style of jiu-jitsu.
It is, because look at jiu-jitsu comes in all kinds of forms, but in MMA, he's looking for a Peruvian necktie there. Did not happen. But in MMA, you can be a guy like Austin. I'm telling you right now, if it was a weight lifting contest, Austin's going to beat Cody.
Austin Vanderford very excited to be a professional mixed martial artist, let alone have his opportunity to fight here in Bellator here tonight. Of course, Brent Primus.
That was an outstanding pass by Austin. You're seeing he's actually taking the back, but he needs to get that hook in for him to be able to maintain that position. There, he's got one hook. He needs to stretch him out with that leg. Try. It's going to be very difficult with coming over on top. He's going towards an arm triangle, and if he can get that arm in the right position, keep that knee on the belly, keep that pressure there, and he's got an arm triangle that can work.
As you saw graphically, you can join the conversation. Hashtag Bellator215 on all social media platforms. Trying to lock it in.
He's got a lot of pressure, and he is a strong kid, so he has the ability to make this work. He can actually put him out from this position. Kind of losing it.
And then it's all over! Austin Vanderford by submission. Got you. Fight your fight, get your win, and perhaps have an answer.
Big leg kick. The one thing that you'll notice when Austin Vanderford gets inside, he does keep his head in the pocket. He does keep his eyes on his opponent just like you want him to. The one thing he's going to have a hard time with Joseph Creer is that length as far as Joseph Creer's height. You have to adjust to it. When you're seeing a fighter like Austin, Austin is incredibly powerful. You can see it just in his body. The fact that he gets down to 170 pounds, that was a beautiful body kick again by Creer. And he's touching that right-hand side of Austin Vanderford. He needs to keep doing that. That will have an effect in this fight.
At the weigh-ins yesterday, and training to fight instead of training to make weight makes a huge difference. Big takedown for Vanderford.
Nice takedown. Picks him up, brings him down. Doesn't allow the legs to go completely around his waist. Is in half guard. Takes away a lot of submissions from Joseph Creer in this position. We'll see what Joseph Creer does to get this back to a point where he can try for those submissions. You saw Creer stop it and actually brought him back into a full guard. Big shots with that left hand, though. If you're in full guard and you're going to use that, you've got to use your legs just like he is right now to extend your opponent out and don't allow him to have those free shots.
A ring general. The gentleman against the Dark Knight. Superman punch. And working top position again, at least for now, is Vanderford. Close guard quickly for Creer, who gets round one, John.
Oh, no doubt about it. That was Austin Vanderford's round. And I was going to say, you're going to see Austin Vanderford coming out quickly, looking for the takedown now. He has felt the sting of what Joseph Creer brings with his kicks and some of those shots. And he's like, I can deal with you on the ground, and I can be the guy that dictates what happens in this fight from that position. Again, you see that hand coming across, and he acts like he's going for the smother and slips it off and lands a heavy elbow.
And the blood is definitely affecting the vision of Joseph Creer, John.
Yeah, and when you're seeing a guy blinking, look at position, and with what we have with sweat and now some blood
from Joseph Creer. This is going to make it very, very difficult for Joseph Creer in this position. If he tries to lock up his submission, he can lock it up and lock it up pretty good. And Austin Vanderford's going to have a very good chance of getting out of it just because of how slippery he's becoming. Well, he's doing everything he can, but he has taken some big, heavy elbows and shots while on his back. And this is why, look at, you know, the game of MMA has evolved. It's, you cannot hold somebody in your guard and expect to not get beat up. It's just not going to happen. Guys are too good at understanding how to roll their arms over for elbows, how to put pressure and slide them, how to land those punches. And it's just a matter of it just breaks you down. You start to hesitate. You start to wait. And when you do that, you're losing. Normally we'll tell you that a cut under the eye is a good thing, but in this situation, I'm telling you it's not. In fact, the fight is over, Mike. Called it. Referee just called the fight off.
Upon the advice of the cage side physician, referee Brian Miner waves off the contest due to the cut officially. 5 minutes. Round number 2, the winner by TKO, Austin Vanderford.
Dominant performance by Austin Vanderford.
Carries a lot of muscle on his frame. He's strong. And it is the question, because we'll look at guys and we'll go, you have the frame for. Nice kick, nice, beautiful spinning attack. But his frame is big enough for 185. He just, as Chael is saying, he's got to find the ways of getting inside on guys with his footwork now, where he didn't have to do the same things at 170.
He slipped a little bit here. Bozeman covered him very well. Austin scrambling. A lot of energy used by both guys, and I think that's good for Austin. I think that's a good thing to burn some energy.
Austin has a lot of weight on that front foot.
Good overhand right there by Austin. Flinching, and he's making Austin respect that. Austin's way of respecting it isn't to jump or close his eyes and blank like Bozinian would like, but it does make him circle to the left or circle to the right. Either way, it just creates a little bit more space than Austin prefers to fight in.
Exactly, but what you're seeing Austin do right now is exactly what he has to do. Landing the heavy kick to the body, going inside, landing the hook. All of this is exactly, he needs to make sure that Bozinian is the man that is walking backwards.
That's a good low kick.
Heavy, heavy leg kick right there by Vanderford. He just needs to keep going back to that well, and he needs to just make sure that he is the one pressing forward and making Bozinian take those backward steps. Controlling exactly where the fight